Naruto God Level System, Chapter 41-60. Chapter 41 Eternal Life. After the class ended in the morning, when it was time for lunch, Kushina found an embarrassing thing, that is, she did not bring a bento. Seeing the embarrassed look on Kushina's face, Hyuga-chan smiled lightly, then took out his stool. Let's eat together. Why did you bring so much? Looking at Hyuga-chan's stool, even 5 people might not be able to finish it. Because I knew you didn't bring a bento, I brought it here on purpose. Hyuga-chan pretended to be mysterious. Haha tilde, do you think I'm a 3-year-old child? But since you invited me sincerely, I'm welcome. Kushina was also welcome, reached out and picked up a piece of kimbap and took a light bite. It's delicious, it's really delicious, this is the best seaweed bun I've ever eaten. Kushina said in admiration. As expected of the bento made by Makoto, it's really fragrant. Can you let me eat a piece of it? Naoki ran over and asked with a face. I'll give you a kushimaru, hurry up. Picking up a bunch of sticky rice balls, Hyuga-chan handed it to Naoki. Naoki left happily, and Kushina's face turned a little worse. Who is Makoto, and what is your relationship with her? Kushina asked deliberately, pretending not to care. Makoto is mentioned, Kushina feels uncomfortable, and inexplicably raises a touch of hostility towards this Makoto who has never met. Tomorrow you will know, our relationship, of course, is the most intimate relationship. As he said, Hyuga-chan dealt with the bento in his hand. Kushina's cheeks bulged, she took the last mouthful of the seaweed bun in her hand, and said angrily, I'm full. A seaweed bag, you're full. Hyuga-chan said in surprise, but remembered that Makoto didn't eat too much, so he understood. In fact, Hyuga-chan understands a fart. Kushina is completely full of himself because of the nameless fire in his heart. To be honest, Kushina didn't know why he was angry, but he was angry anyway. Hyuga-chan finished eating. Kushina couldn't help stunned. This is better than pigs. Look at it, although I eat a lot, I haven't eaten your steamed buns. How can you be so irritating when you talk about it? Kushina looked resentful. She found that she was more angry than she had been in years since she entered school for half a day. Soon the noon break time passed, and the afternoon practice class began. Because 2 new students were added, Ueno Shuri wanted to explain it to them individually, so Hyuga-chan and the others were free to move around. Chen, I can already use the wild water wave technique, do you want to take a look? Naoki leaned in front of Hyuga-chan. I said, you guy, you always come to me when you have nothing to do. Sometimes I really doubt your sexuality, so hurry up and walk away from me. You will ninjutsu and it's none of my business. Hyuga-chan pushed Naoki away in disgust. You're a guy who cares about sex and friends, I'll find someone else. Naoki left angrily and went to Narashikaku to show off his ninjutsu. This time, the funny thing of yesterday did not happen, and the wild water wave was successfully used. The amount of water was not small, and half of the training ground was flooded. The consequences are of course serious, and now they are being punished under the sun. All I can say is the unlucky Naoki. School is really boring. After practicing swordsmanship, Hyuga-chan lay on the sand next to him, feeling a little bored. But Hyuga-chan never thought about graduating early, or joining Anbu or something. Anbu's rules were too strict, and Hyuga-chan didn't want to be disciplined at all. The past few years in school are also the time for him to accumulate strength. After graduating from ninja school, according to his budget, he will definitely be able to reach cage level. At that time, the guy Uchiha Madara is looking for trouble, and Hyuga-chan is not afraid of it, and it is not even possible to fight back. However, the success rate will not be great. Even if Uchiha Madara is getting old, Hyuga-chan will not dare to underestimate him. Who knows how many means he has. Cultivation slowly. In fact, this kind of life is not bad. Looking at the dazzling sun overhead, Hyuga-chan smiled. This kind of life is more than 100 times stronger than the 5 to 9 life before crossing. Lying until after school, Hyuga-chan got up, patted off the sand from his body, and went home alone. Back at home, Makoto had already cooked and was waiting for Hyuga-chan. After saying hello to Makoto, Hyuga-chan went to wash his hands and eat. After dinner, Hyuga Tatsu told Makoto about Kushina and Tomoko, who were 2 transfer students. Then, that Uzumaki Kushina, it should be very beautiful. Makoto smiled at Hyuga-chan, his eyes flashed with cold light, and the whole person was shrouded in black mist. Is this jealous? Cold sweat appeared on Hyuga-chan's forehead. This was the first time he saw Makoto like this. The pressure was so strong. It can't be compared with Makoto. In this world, Makoto is the most beautiful. Chen wiped his cold sweat and said, jealous women are really scary, even though Makoto is still a little girl. Really? You said that if I told Sister Tsunade this sentence, guess what would happen to you? Makoto had a bright smile on his face, but the content of his words was extremely dark. Makoto, you have changed. You are no longer the gentle Makoto I knew. Hyuga-chan said with a gloomy expression. PFF'd. Makoto laughed, and then said quietly, actually, as long as you don't forget me in your heart, I don't expect too much. Don't worry, even if I forget myself, I won't forget you. Hyuga-chan looked serious, not joking at all. Oh, that is to say, you admit that you have some serious thoughts. Okay, I was joking with you just now, but if you dare to forget me, I'll really show you. Although Makoto said it with a smile, Hyuga-chan could feel the firmness in her heart. Your life will always be mine in the future. It's impossible to die. We have to be together forever and ever. Hyuga-chan said softly. At the same time, Hyuga-chan touched his eyes. In fact, it is not impossible for Hyuga-chan to immortalize himself and others. This depends on Tenseigion's time and space control, and now he can't control time. As long as he can control time and stop other people's time, then as long as he is not killed, he will never die. So whether it is for himself or for his lover, Hyuga-chan has to work hard to strengthen his strength and strive for the strength to be able to master time as soon as possible. Makoto didn't say a word, just looked at Hyuga-chan with gentle eyes. You should have seen the 6 naval styles I gave you. Now I will explain the difficulties of cultivation to you. Yeah, Makoto nodded, then listened carefully to Hyuga-chan's explanation. Chapter 42 Tsunade looking for. Hello, I'm Uchiha Makoto, please give me some advice. Makoto looked at Kushina with a smile. Hello, my name is Uzumaki Kushina, just call me Kushina. Kushina said with a bad expression. Although Makoto's smile is as gentle as water, it makes people feel very comfortable, but Kushina is very upset, and even the expression is not very good looking. He snorted coldly at Hyuga-chan, then took his belongings, walked to the back, and went with Uzumaki Tomoko. Hyuga-chan had a question mark on his face. He didn't seem to provoke Kushina. Could it be that in just one day yesterday, Kushina really had a good impression of herself? It's not impossible. Thinking of the prizes he had drawn before, increasing his attraction to the opposite sex, Hyuga-chan said secretly. The eldest wife and the little wife fought. Naoki walked over, put his arms around Hyuga-chan's shoulders, and said with a wretched expression. Touch. Hyuga-chan gave Naoki a brain breakdown, a big bag appeared on his head, and Naoki kept wiping tears from the pain. Why are you doing so much? You are everywhere, Hyuga-chan said unhappily. Seeing what Naoki wanted to say, Hyuga-chan raised his fist and gestured demonstratively at Naoki. Naoki immediately slumped, covered his head and returned to his seat depressed. The big bag above his head made people laugh. My sister has something to ask you. I'll ask you to find her at 9 o'clock tomorrow, and go to Konoha 27 training ground to find her. Naoki said in a sullen voice, still angry at Hyuga-chan hitting him just now. Tsunade is looking for me. Hyuga-chan wondered, then nodded. Tomorrow is the weekend. Speaking of Tsunade's mission, he hadn't seen Tsunade for a long time. Uzumaki Kushina, who was lying on the table, remembered Naoki's words after hearing Naoki's words. Then a few students came in, with blue noses and swollen faces. It looked like they had been beaten, and they looked at Kushina's direction with fear. Seeing this scene, Hyuga-chen smiled, but Kushina really did it. Soon Ueno Shuri came and asked the students who had blue noses and swollen faces, but they all said that they fell, and they were embarrassed to say that they were beaten by girls. Ueno Shuri knew at a glance that they were lying, but he didn't ask any more questions and started today's lecture. Today, Hyuga-chen surprisingly did not sleep, but listened to the lecture seriously. Because today is about the arrangement of traps, there is no harm in learning this kind of thing, maybe one day it will be used. This made Ueno Shuri very surprised. Hyuga-chen, who had been lying on the table for a long time, actually listened to the class seriously today, which made him feel that the sun was coming out from the west. The morning class ended quickly, after the noon break, and then the afternoon class. Hyuga-chen was still the same as before, exercising alone, then resting, and the day went by. The next day was the weekend off. Hyuga-chen got up early in the morning, exercised and started to eat breakfast prepared by Makoto. "Come on, Makoto, go see that big-breasted girl Tsunade, what's the matter with me? Sister Tsunade would definitely get angry if she knew that you said that to her, and maybe even beat you. I really want to see that scene," Makoto said with a snicker. "Makoto, do you like seeing me unlucky so much?" Hyuga-chen looked at Makoto with resentful eyes, feeling that Makoto was getting darker and darker. "Sister Tsunade told you to go, I'll be fine, right?" "It's alright, let's go." Hyuga-chen took her hand and went out without waiting for Makoto to say anything. It was already 8:30 when we arrived at the number 27 training ground. Hyuga-chen observed it and found that Tsunade had not come yet. Without seeing Tsunade, Hyuga-chen saw another person, picked up a small stone, and threw it towards a tree in the distance. Ah tilde tilde. Kushina, who was lying on the tree, was startled, screamed, slipped her hands and feet, and fell off accidentally. You must know that the trees in Hokage are very tall, generally more than 10 meters, and the one that Kushina chose is even higher, nearly 20 meters in height. Falling from such a high place, Kushina could not help but close her eyes in despair. No, it actually fell. Hyuga-chen was stunned for a moment, and then used the ability of the glitter fruit to turn into a golden flash, catching the falling Kushina. Kushina, who closed his eyes, did not feel pain after a long time, but felt a warm breath surrounding him. Kushina's eyelids moved, and then she opened her eyes and looked at Hyuga-chen who was in front of her. Tears appeared in the corners of her eyes, and then slowly flowed out. Hey, don't cry, I'm just joking with you, I didn't expect you to fall, sorry. I apologize to you, don't cry. Seeing Kushina cry, Hyuga-chen has a headache. He was a single dog in his previous life, and he has no experience, so he can't comfort girls at all. Holding Kushina and falling to the ground, Kushina was still crying silently, which made Hyuga-chen feel that one head and two were big, so he could only stand there foolishly holding Kushina. Makoto also ran over and asked Hyuga-chen, is there something wrong? It's okay, but she cried. Hyuga-chen said embarrassedly, all this was caused by him. If it wasn't for his cheap hands, if he had to throw a rock to scare Kushina, this would not have happened. Makoto glanced at Hyuga Tatsu angrily, then comforted Kushina. Saw Makoto, Kushina stopped her tears because she didn't want to show her weak side in front of her rival in love. After a long time, Tsunade arrived late, and the arrival of Tsunade also broke the awkward atmosphere. What's going on? Tsunade pointed at Kushina, who was hugged by Hyuga-chen, Yuhi's eyes glowing like a rabbit. Hyuga-chen smiled awkwardly. Kushina, you said that Hyuga-chen bullied you, so I'll settle the account with him. Tsunade glared at Hyuga-chen. Kushina is her grandmother's clan, and it was Tsunade who went to the country of Vortex and brought her and Uzumaki Tomoko back together. It is also the only remaining clan of the Uzumaki clan. Konoha thinks Tsunade naturally has to take care of it. It's nothing, Tsunade-san, don't worry. I'm fine. Glancing at Hyuga-chen, Kushina got down from Hyuga-chen's embrace. But when she left Hyuga-chen's embrace, Kushina felt lost again. In Hyuga-chen's embrace before, she felt very warm and very comfortable. Even after coming to Konoha, the restless heart has calmed down, and now that I have left Hyuga Tatsu's arms, I feel as if I have lost something. Sister Tsunade, do you have something to do with me? Hyuga-chan quickly changed the subject. I can't find you if I'm okay, or if you have two little girlfriends, you don't want my sister and me. Hyuga-chan smiled wryly, it's better not to change the subject. Makoto made a big yuhi face at Tsunade's words and bowed his head shyly. Sister Tsunade, who is this big villain's little girlfriend? Kushina explained Yuhi's expression with a face. Humph. I still want to make a quibble, but Naoki already told me when he got home. Tsunade also gave Hyuga-chen a contemptuous look, but he didn't expect Hyuga-chen to be so careless. Chapter 43 Compete with Tsunade. This guy Naoki, it seems that he didn't teach him enough. Hyuga-chen bit Kiba and decided to show this guy Naoki a good look. Naoki, who was refining chakra in the Senju family, sneezed suddenly. For some reason, he felt a bad premonition. Let's not talk about that. I'm looking for you exactly, it's about the physical skills you gave me. Tsunade said and glanced at Makoto and Kushina. I have something to talk about with Kushina, so I left first. Makoto took Kushina's hand, trying to avoid it for a while. No, it's fine. Hyuga-chan shook his head. Makoto would do it anyway, and it didn't matter if Kushina was there. Tsunade froze for a moment, then didn't say anything. Could it be that you have any problems with your cultivation? Hyuga-chen asked curiously. Yeah, everything else is fine, but paper painting and observation hockey, I've never been able to learn. Tsunade said his own question. Out of the Navy 6 style paper paintings, iron blocks, and observation hockey, the other Tsunades have all been learned, and I can't say that they are proficient in using them, but at least they can be used. Among them, the iron block Tsunade has not practiced, and there is armament hockey. There is indeed no need to cultivate iron blocks, but she has not learned either of observation hockey and the two perceptual abilities of paper painting. Learn observation hockey, there is no need to learn paper painting. If you want to master observation hockey quickly, choosing to avoid high-speed moving objects is the best choice. Hyuga-chen suggested. Why don't we learn from each other? Tsunade's eyes widened. Are you alright? Hyuga-chen heard the words and chuckled. Tsunade, don't underestimate me. If I do my best, I can solve you with one move. Xiaochan, being arrogant is not a good habit. Hyuga-chan's words were a joke in Tsunade's eyes. She didn't say that Hyuga-chan didn't know how high the sky was, and it was not bad. Really? Give it a try, then. Laser. He raised his finger to aim at Tsunade, and a golden flash streaked across the sky. Tsunade's pupils shrank suddenly. The attack just now wiped her cheek, but she didn't react. That is to say, if the two sides were enemies, she would be dead now. Although there are problems that she didn't pay attention to, but even if she concentrates, it is difficult to avoid it, it's too fast. What kind of ninjutsu is released without a hand seal? Tsunade asked curiously. This is not ninjutsu, you can understand it as the ability equivalent to the blood limit. Hyuga-chen shook his head and said. Sister Tsunade, don't underestimate anyone, you are a ninja taboo. It's really annoying to be taught a lesson by a kid. Tsunade was a little unhappy. Then let me see, Xiaochan, your hidden strength. Tsunade clenched his fists, then the ground under his feet cracked. Tsunade appeared behind Hyuga-chan in an instant. Then he raised his fist and slammed it down, but Tsunade didn't dare to use force, otherwise what would he do if he really hit Hyuga-chan? With a smile on his lips, Hyuga-chan tilted his head slightly and easily avoided Tsunade's attack. Don't have any scruples, use all your strength. And Tsunade's sister should be careful about getting hurt. I won't take pity on Shangshiyu. To despise me so much, I will teach you a good lesson today. Tsunade said angrily. Shaved, chakra-enhanced strength. This time Tsunade really used all his strength, using shaving to move fast and attacking with chakra-enhanced strength. Although it looks amazing, Hyuga-chen is like a piece of paper, flying with Tsunade's punches, so that Tsunade can't hit him at all. Is this a paper painting? Seeing Hyuga-chen easily dodging his full attack, Tsunade's eyes flashed a hint of weakness. This evasion method, unless it is a large-scale attack, or your shot speed is several times that of the opponent, otherwise it is difficult to hit the opponent with physical skills. Sister Tsunade, it's my turn to make a move, you have to be careful. Lanjiao, quickly kicking the air, a huge vacuum sword cut towards Tsunade at the fastest speed. Humph, I can dodge this kind of attack at will. Really? Hyuga-chen smiled. The huge vacuum sword shattered into countless tiny vacuum swords in the air, shrouded down towards Tsunade, completely blocking Tsunade's path, and the range was so wide that even Tsunade could not avoid it with the avatar technique. Tsunade's pupils shrank suddenly, then wrapped chakra with both hands, and scattered the vacuum sword that came flying. A lot of effort, it was finally done, but before Tsunade could breathe a sigh of relief, the vacuum sword that filled the sky attacked again, and Tsunade wanted to scold his mother. You can only try your best to avoid it. If you can't avoid it, use chakra-enhanced strength to break it up. And Kushina, who was watching the battle, was stunned. In her eyes, it was a fight between gods and gods. I didn't expect this villain to be so strong. A strange color flashed in Kushina's eyes. People in any world admire the strong, and Hyuga-chen is obviously one of the strong. You are useless to me like this, it will only drain your stamina faster. Tsunade said after blowing the vacuum sword away with one punch. She will also be stunned, and she knows how much physical strength it takes to use the swaying feat continuously. Hyuga-chen was able to unleash so many slashes at the age of 5 years, and Tsunade sighed inwardly at the monster. However, she could also clearly feel that Hyuga-chen's slashing attack was getting weaker and weaker. Is it exciting to fight with my shadow clone for so long? Hyuga-chen suddenly said behind Tsunade. I saw Hyuga-chen, who was using Lan's feet in front, suddenly burst into smoke and dissipated, and it was Shadow Clone. Before Tsunade could react, Hyuga-chen kicked out, making a harsh air pop, and Tsunade's body was kicked straight. Boom! A burst of smoke broke out, Tsunade's figure disappeared, replaced by a broken wood. Under Hyuga-chen's foot, the broken wood turned into a bean-sized sawdust. You're really merciless. If I was kicked, I'd be dead by now. Tsunade wiped the cold sweat on her forehead, she was really scared. If she hadn't sensed the danger, and then the prophet used the substitute technique in advance, she would definitely be GG now. Hyuga-chen smiled and didn't speak. Even if Tsunade couldn't dodge just now, he could hold back at a critical moment. His ability to control his body was no joke. When the crisis broke out, didn't you subconsciously awaken observation haki? After Hyuga-chen said this, Tsunade found that it was indeed the case, and her perception of her surroundings became extremely sharp. Now Tsunade is confident that as long as she is within 30 meters, she will detect any disturbance and disguise. Chapter 44 I didn't mean it, can you believe it? Do you want to continue? Of course, I want to take revenge for the kick just now. Tsunade's eyes burned with fire. Although the kick just now didn't hit her, it was definitely the most thrilling one since she became a ninja, and it was still a loss for the 5.5-year-old kid. But now Tsunade didn't dare to underestimate Hyuga-chen at all. After the battle just now, she already regarded Hyuga-chen as a stronger opponent of the same level or even stronger. As expected of big sister Tsunade, she really has backbone, but backbone doesn't mean strength. Hyuga-chen floated in midair, looking down at Tsunade. You thought you could just stand in the air, moon step. Tsunade stepped on the moon step and flew into the sky under Kushina's surprised eyes. Facing Tsunade's punch, Hyuga-chan was in the air, swaying from side to side like a stroll in a garden, so that Tsunade couldn't even touch his clothes kakuzu. Although the moon step can fly, it is not as flexible as the twinkling fruit, and can only follow Hyuga-chan tiredly. "Chen, don't run if you can." Tsunade fell to the ground and shouted angrily. Tsunade doesn't have any long-range attack ninjutsu, and usually relies on strange power to attack. Now the speed is not as fast as Hyuga-chan, so he can only watch Hyuga-chan jumping around in front of her eyes with bulging eyes. Easily dodging Tsunade's feet, Hyuga-chan fell to the ground. "I know that even if I beat you in this way, you won't be convinced, so let's fight head-on." Hyuga-chan raised his fist, the black armament haki covered the fist, flashing metal light, and the chakra burst out, exerting strange power. Tsunade did the same, bursting chakra with armament haki, and the two used shave at the same time, rushing towards each other. Boom! The collision of two fists, one big and one small, formed a gas explosion cloud, destroying all the surrounding objects, and the place where the two collided formed a large pothole of 100 meters. Makoto and Kushina, who were watching from a distance, were both knocked to the ground by the gust of wind from the collision. A figure flew upside down from the dust. It was Tsunade. After flying upside down for a few hundred meters, Tsunade stopped with a trace of blood on the corner of his mouth. Dust dissipated, and Hyuga-chan hovered steadily above the pothole. It was obvious that Hyuga-chan won this matchup. It's not surprising that Hyuga-chan has stronger physique and armament haki than Tsunade, and Tsunade is just a little better in terms of chakra quality and proficiency in magic techniques. "Chen, you little guy, you are really strong. Even an ordinary quasi-shadow will not be your opponent," Tsunade said solemnly, looking at Hyuga-chan with the eyes of a monster. Tsunade is now an elite jonin, and she was able to draw level with ordinary quasi-shadows in the past. And after learning the 6th-style navy that Hyuga-chan gave her and still domineering, Tsunade can defeat ordinary quasi-shadows, which are on par with those with blood-stained limits. And if Hyuga-chan can defeat her head-on, you can know his strength. Why Tsunade felt that Hyuga-chan was a monster, which was too strong. Thinking that when she was more than 5 years old, she could at most use C-rank ninjutsu. Compared with Hyuga-chan, she is simply weak, and she is still a genius. If she is a genius, what is Hyuga-chan? A monster. Are you admitting defeat? Admit defeat. How is that possible? Quickly kicked the ground and used shave to kill Hyuga-chan again. Actually, the gap between the two of us is very big, Hyuga-chan said very forcefully, making Tsunade a little angry. "If you don't believe me, try it." Yada mirror. The light accumulated in his hand was like a mirror, and then refracted the surrounding reflective objects to form a light channel. Then Hyuga-chan turned into a flash of light and moved instantaneously in the channel of light. Before Tsunade could react, he appeared on Tsunade's side and punched out. Tsunade, who awakened observation haki, caught the figure of Hyuga Tatsu, but it was of no use. Consciously aware of it, but Tsunade, who couldn't keep up with his body, could only take a hard punch from Hyugatatsu. However, Tsunade wasn't injured. Hyuga-chan pulled back his power when he hit out, so the punch didn't have much power. But Tsunade was angry, because Hyuga-chan's punch was a little out of place, and it hit Tsunade's huge op. "Sister Tsunade, I said I didn't mean it, do you believe it?" Hyuga-chan smirked. In fact, even he didn't believe what he said, because it was his intention, otherwise, with Hyuga-chan's control, there would be such a mistake. Tsunade first looked at Makoto's two little girls in the distance, and then heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, they were far away, and she was blocking Makoto's sight, so they didn't see it. "You bad bastard, little pervert, you dare to say that you didn't do it on purpose, I have to teach you a little pervert today." Tsunade stretched out his hand and twisted it towards Hyuga-chan's ear. Hyuga-chan hurriedly avoided, then looked at Tsunade pitifully. "I really didn't mean it, can you let me go?" "Impossible, you are so lustful at a young age. If you grow up, you will be the second Jiraiya. Jiraiya innocently lays down the gun. Tsunade was unrelenting, first to hide his shyness, and secondly to seek revenge. Today's discussion has made her very faceless. Hyuga-chen naturally didn't want Tsunade to catch him, and the two started a game of cat and mouse. Hyuga-chan's speed was much faster than Tsunade. Tsunade was tired and panting, and still couldn't touch the corner of Hyuga-chan's clothes. This made Tsunade feel very discouraged. If Hyuga-chen had attacked her directly at this speed during the battle just now, she would have been defeated long ago. Seeing Tsunade's unstoppable look, Hyuga-chen could only drop the water and was caught by Tsunade on purpose, and then he was taught by Tsunade. Otherwise, with Tsunade's character, I don't know how long it will take to chase, so let her vent her anger. Seeing Hyuga Tatsu's depressed look, Tsunade laughed. Puchi. Who made you so arrogant just now, and you didn't show mercy at all? I am sure that I will never hurt you, otherwise how would you awaken observation haki? Stinky brat, I, Princess Tsunade, need your mercy. Yes, yes, everything is due to the strength of Tsunade-sama, which I admire so much, so I can only bow down and raise my hands to surrender. Soon, Tsunade's sister, are you all right? Makoto and Kushina ran over and looked at them both nervously. Of course he's all right, but I'm a little injured. Tsunade glared at Hyuga-chen. During the previous collision, she was injured by a strong force, but it was only a small injury. Chapter 45 Responsible for me. Sister Tsunade, you're injured, isn't it serious? Makoto asked with concern. You big villain, you don't even know Lianxiangshiyu, you injured Tsunade's sister. Kushina attacked Hyuga-chen. It's alright, it's Chen's mercy, otherwise I wouldn't have suffered a little injury now. Tsunade shook his head and gave Hyuga-chen a meaningful look. Although I don't know how your bloodstain that emits golden light came from, it's best not to expose it, otherwise it won't do you any good. Tsunade reminded Hyuga-chen. I see, now the only three of you who know my strength are you. At most, the others think that I am born with divine power and my strength is stronger. Hyuga-chen nodded. Hyuga-chen knew exactly what Konoha was like, but he knew that what Konoha was best at was not foreign wars, but civil wars, and civil wars were as fierce as dogs. Konoha Ninja Village is absolutely professional when it comes to attacking one's own people, which is unmatched by any ninja village. At the beginning of the plot, is Konoha Ninja Village really worthy of being the first ninja village? Besides the old man of 3 generations, who else can support Konoha? Is it the shadowy Danzo, or the Kakashi who was dragged down by Sharingan? Konoha Sanin left the village one after another. Why is this? Is there really no secret at all? Anyway, Hyuga-chen didn't believe it. If Hyuga Tatsu shows off the power of the glitter fruit, he will definitely be in trouble. That's the best, you guys also help Chen keep it a secret. Tsunade nodded, then looked at Makoto and Kushina. Makoto smiled and didn't speak. She lived with Chen and was the first to know Hyuga-chen's powerful strength, but she saw with her own eyes that Hyuga-chen defeated Uchiha Kairan, the elite Jonin, with her own eyes. As long as you promise to obey Miss Ben in the future, Miss Ben will help you keep it a secret. Kushina said with her neck raised. Kushina, do you know what happens to a disobedient girl? Hyuga-chen walked towards Kushina with an evil smile. Yes, what will happen? That's it. Hyuga-chen grabbed Kushina, and then slapped her buttocks 3 times. Kushina felt the burning pain, and Yuhi's face turned up. You dare to hit me there? Kushina said angrily. How can you take me? Chen looked smug. My mother said that only the future husband can touch the girl. If you dare to hit me, you will be responsible for me. Kushina said shyly. This seems to be a good thing for me. Hyuga-chen said while pinching his chin. After Makoto heard it, he gave Hyuga Tatsu a white glance, and his index finger and thumb pinched the soft flesh around Hyuga Tatsu's waist and twisted it hard. Obviously Makoto is jealous. Although Makoto is as gentle as water, there is no girl who is not jealous of this kind of thing. Unless she doesn't care about you at all. You guy, you really care. I don't know what Makoto likes about you, and Kushina, I didn't expect you to fall into it. Tsunade said unhappily. She didn't notice that her words had a hint of vinegar, and Tsunade wouldn't admit that he would fall in love with a kid who was nearly 10 years younger than him. However, the two girls, Makoto and Kushina, looked at each other and clearly saw Tsunade's mind. Maybe this is the girl's keenness. Hyuga-chen didn't hear anything. Hey, did you agree? You really decided, you know that you won't have the chance to go back in the future. Even if you want to leave me, I can't let you go. Hyuga-chen looked at Kushina seriously. Of course, I will never go back on what Kushina decides. Kushina looked firm. Although she didn't know Hyuga-chen for a long time, including today, it was only 3 days, but she liked the feeling of being with Hyuga-chen very much, it was very comfortable. Otherwise, she wouldn't come here on purpose today. Well, from now on you will be my Hyuga-chen's woman, and I will never fail you in the future. This is also my promise. Hyuga-chen put away his smile and said solemnly. Yeah, at this time, after the relationship was confirmed, Kushina became shy. But Kushina is the Kushina who dares to love and hate after all, and she was only shy for a moment, and returned to her charming appearance again. However, Kushina is so charming, not only will not be annoying, but rather cute. Actually Kushina is some suinder. In the future, Makoto and Kushina, you two should get along well. Kushina, you will move to my house in the future. Hyuga-chen took their hands and put them together. Makoto and Kushina looked at each other and didn't know what to say. To say they didn't mind each other would be utter nonsense. Hyuga-chen also knows this kind of thing, it can only rely on time to run in. The two are good sisters in the original book, this time they really become sisters. Looking at this scene, Tsunade's eyes flashed a trace of complexity, she felt that she was here, as if she was superfluous, and there was a suffocating discomfort in her heart. Let's talk. I still have something to do, so I'll go first. Tsunade turned and left in disgust. Tsunade. Forget it, let's go back to. Stop by and help Kushina move. Hyuga-chen said with a helpless smile. Helping Kushina to move, on the surface, did not make any waves, but secretly, there was an undercurrent. Whether it's the top executives of Konoha or the major families, they all focus their attention on Hyuga-chen. 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen also personally found the head of the Hyuga family and beat the head of the Hyuga family. Kushina is one of the containers of Kyubi, 9 tails, this Konoha high level, all know, so they are very concerned about the movements of Uzumaki Kushina and Uzumaki Tomoko. Kushina in the original work, and now there is another Uzumaki Tomoko, so naturally there are 2 choices. This is also the reason why Hyuga-chen was able to let Kushina move, otherwise, the 3 generations would have been bombed long ago, and then Hyuga-chen was invited to Anbu for tea. Of light flashed in the eyes of the patriarchs of the other major families, and then asked the disciples in the clan to get closer to Uzumaki Tomoko. If there is a Kyubi, 9 tails, to help, then the family will really take off. At the same time, he also secretly scolded the Hyuga family for being insidious and attacking so quickly. But the behavior of the major families annoyed Sarutobi Hiruzen, and now Sarutobi Hiruzen is not the bad old man in the future, but he is still a little bold. Directly ordered, no one is allowed to approach Uzumaki Tomoko with impure thoughts. However, there are policies from above, and countermeasures from below. You say you can't have bad thoughts, but how do you know that we have bad thoughts? Gave Sarutobi Hiruzen a huge headache, and sent Anbu directly to teach all those who deliberately approached Uzumaki Tomoko a lesson. Chapter 46 Tenseigin Puppet. Sarutobi, that Hyuga-chen definitely has bad intentions, it's better to monitor it, leave this to my roots. Danzo found Sarutobi Hiruzen. Danzo also has his own ideas. He wants to indirectly control Kushina through Hyuga-chen. Danzo has never given up on the idea of Kyubi, 9 tails. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at him, and he knew this old friend better than anyone else. Hyuga-chen is a member of the Hyuga family, and this incident can easily lead to internal conflicts within Konoha, so let's stop here. Danzo said unwillingly. He doesn't even have Byakugan. I don't think the Hyuga family should care about him. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a cigarette and said lightly, no, I have decided to make Uzumaki Tomoko a human Jinchuiki column force. What? Danzo's eyes widened. He didn't expect Sarutobi Hiruzen to have made a decision. After a long time, seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't mean to change his mind. Danzo could only leave unwillingly. Alas, Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. As talent is concerned, Kushina is the best choice, but Kushina's character Sarutobi Hiruzen is also understood these days. Compared with the gentle and shy Uzumaki Tomoko, it is simply two extremes, and this incident made him finally choose Uzumaki Tomoko. In his opinion, Uzumaki Tomoko is easier to control, while Kushina, whose character is too detached, is not easy to control. Even though Kushina's talent was better, it was given up by Sarutobi Hiruzen. He wanted a Jinchuriki column force of a person under his control, not a Jinchuriki column force of a person out of control. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen still dispatched Anbu to monitor Hyuga Tatsu, Uzumaki Kushina, and even the Hyuga family to see if the Hyuga family had any thoughts on Kyubi, Nine Tails. When Danzo returned, he lost his temper and broke the teacup several times. Sarutobi, I won't give up. Danzo growled sullenly. The fact that Kushina moved to Hyuga-chen's house was also known to the classmates, and the precocious male classmate looked at Hyuga-chen with envious eyes. Although there is no monogamy in Hokage, most people are monogamous. Hyuga-chen is less than 6 years old now, and already has 2 girlfriends, making their faces contorted with envy. Those envious and jealous eyes, Hyuga-chen readily accepted, and looked at these losers with the attitude of a winner in life. I'm so offended by your eyes, I really want to punch you if I can. Naoki squeezed his fist. The howl of a defeated dog. A single dog like you can't understand a winner in life like me. Life is like me tilde. When you were still crawling slowly, I was already standing at the top looking down at all beings. Quote. You hateful guy, I think you are even more disgusting than Uchiha Ken with eyes on the top of his head. Looking at Hyuga-chen who was pretending to be incessant, Naoki became more and more unhappy. Ignorance, superficial, I'm just stating a fact, do you think I'm pretending not to? Hyuga-chen folded his arms and his tone was flat. Isn't it just having 2 girlfriends? What's amazing, I will definitely have 100 times more girlfriends than you in the future, and I will envy you to death. Hyuga-chen looked at Naoki in astonishment and patted his shoulder. With your small body, can you bear it? Senju Naoki, Hyuga Tatsu, you two give me back to my place. Ueno Shuri walked in and growled. Today we talk about the history of Konoha, which is made by. In the whole class, except for Hyuga Tatsu, Nara Shikaku listened with great interest. Hyuga-chen feels very boring. This history has been changed at all. There is nothing about Uchiha Madara in the whole article. It is all about the big Jinchuriki column son, the 2nd generation Hokage and the current 3rd generation Hokage. Uchiha Madara was also mentioned, but it was also mentioned in one stroke, still in the image of the villain, although he was originally the villain. This act of revising history was definitely not done by Senju Hashirama, it should have been done by Senju Tobarama or Shimura Danzo. With Senju Tobarama's hatred of Uchiha, it's not impossible to do such a thing. As before, I spent a day at school again. Except for the addition of Kushina at school and after school, the school life has not changed much, and it is still a bit boring. On the way back, Hyuga-chan's expression changed, and then he took Makoto and Kushina and deliberately walked towards the dark path. After walking to a quiet and dark path with no one passing by, Hyuga-chan's expression turned cold. Get out of here. Makoto and Kushina froze for a moment, then heard footsteps behind, a ninja wearing a dog face mask, walking over. Makoto and Kushina were a little nervous, and subconsciously moved closer to Hyuga-chen. Hyuga Tatsu, please Danzo-sama. An emotionless voice reached Hyuga Tatsu's ears. Hearing Danzo's name, Hyuga-chen's expression became even colder. He didn't like Danzo at all. He kept saying that it was for Konoha, putting himself on the moral high ground, but he did nothing all day, a typical bitch, and wanted a chastity torii. Anyway, there is absolutely nothing good about Danzo looking for him. In that case, Hyuga-chan doesn't mind finding him something to do. The next thing may be bloody. If you are not comfortable, close your eyes. Hyuga-chen reminded Makoto and Kushina. It seems that you refused, so I can only use force. The root ninja, with 3 tomo in his eyes, looked at Hyuga-chan coldly. Sharingan, someone from the Uchiha family. Hyuga-chan was stunned for a moment, but he didn't expect that there were also people from the Uchiha family at the root, and then Hyuga-chan smiled. Alright, this is exactly what I want. Tenseigan puppet control. The root ninja of the Uchiha family was controlled by Hyuga-chen in an instant. Becoming a puppet controlled by Hyuga-chen, or a puppet with self-awareness, spiritual will and actions are controlled by Hyuga-chen. This is actually no different from Koto Amatsukami. The disadvantage is that it can only be used by people who are weaker than themselves. In fact, the same is true for Koto Amatsukami. Go out your own eyes. Hyuga-chan said coldly. The puppet froze for a moment, and then dug out his eyes without hesitation. Hyuga-chen nodded, then took out Uchiha Kado's 2 Sharingan and threw them to the puppet. Put those eyes on and go attack the 3 generations. Then put the blame on Danzo or Uchiha. Yes. The eye change in Hokage is not too difficult, but the premise is to have medical ninjutsu, but this guy does not know medical ninjutsu. Fortunately, Hyuga-chen followed Tsunade to learn, although it is not too grandmaster, but it is still possible to help people change their eyes. However, replacing him with Mangekyo Sharingan, Hyuga-chen felt that he had made a mistake, and this guy is also Jonin's strength. Even if it is replaced by Mangekyo Sharingan, under the blessing of Mangekyo Sharingan, the chakra has been strengthened, and it is also the strength of the elite Jonin. Counting Mangekyo Sharingan's ability, at most it is a short burst of cage-level strength, which is really not enough among Konoha. It is estimated that if you hold on for a while, you will be taken by the Konoha people. Isn't this giving Mangekyo to others? Hyuga-chen was tangled. This guy seems to be a bit of a waste. Should he be let go in the end? Chapter 47 Raid Sarutobi Hiruzen. If you go, this guy will die. This is no fluke. If not go, then Hyuga-chan's efforts would be in vain, and the most important thing is that Hyuga-chan wanted to make some trouble for Danzo. Danzo had noticed himself, and for whatever reason, Hyuga-chan tried to distract him. Hyuga-chan is strong now. He has not yet reached the level of the invincible ninja world. He doesn't want to have a conflict with Danzo right now. It's not good for him. Isn't it just a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan? It's useless to me anyway. It's gone if I don't have it. Hyuga-chen was relieved. A pair of Mangekyo Sharingan. He didn't take it seriously. Chen, what are you thinking? Makoto tugged at Chen lightly. Oh, it's nothing. Let's go. Then what about this guy? Kushina pointed at the puppet. When Hyuga-chan ordered this guy to go out his eyes just now, the bloody scene scared Kushina. I have my own arrangements. You don't have to worry about it. Hyuga-chen took Makoto with one hand and Kushina with the other and left. Makoto, Kushina, although we are still young, since we have chosen to become ninjas, we must adapt. For ninjas, killing and bloody is inevitable. Hyuga-chen said to the 2 daughters. Yeah, I know that. Kushina nodded. In fact, she had already experienced even more cruel things. When the kingdom of Vortex was destroyed, countless clansmen died in front of her eyes, which was hundreds of times more bloody than before. Makoto smiled softly. She did feel a little uncomfortable just now, but after Hyuga-chen held her hand, her heart calmed down. Brought my 2 daughters home, Makoto went to cook, and Kushina went to help, but it was said to be helping, but in fact, Kushina, who didn't know how to cook, was making trouble. Hyuga-chen returned to his room, and then used Tensegan to check Uchiha Ryo's every move. As long as Uchiha Ryo saw the scene, as long as Hyuga-chen thought about it, he could also see it simultaneously, similar to Pain Six Paths. Uchiha Ryo is the puppet at the root controlled by Hyuga-chen, which Hyuga-chen knew by investigating his memory. When he was leaving, Hyuga-chen gave him an order to refine chakra at all costs. Anyway, it is a chess piece, and it is a chess piece that is about to be abandoned, so it is natural to maximize his use value. That it is, he has to divert the attention of Konoha's executives. Before reaching the cage level, Hyuga-chen didn't want to be too much attention. The past few days, he has clearly noticed that there are people from Anbu monitoring him and Kushina. Although Hyuga-chen is very upset, he can only endure it. To kill a Uchiha family member in the village, but Anbu's people must not move. Even if you really want to move them, you must have an alibi, or someone will take the blame. Hyuga-chen is going to let Uchiha Ryo forcefully extract chakra at the cost of overdrafting his life, and then go to assassinate the 3 generations of Hokage, and then put the blame on the Danzo or Uchiha family. And it's going to be a lot of trouble. It's best to make the whole Konoha alarmed, and no one will have the time to pay attention to them. As for what will happen to Danzo and Uchiha in the end, what does Hyuga-chen say? It's none of my business. 5 days have passed, and Uchiha Ryo's chakra volume has now reached the quasi-shadow. This is also the limit. If you want to improve, I don't know how long it will take. And Hyuga-chen couldn't wait any longer. Those Anbu outsiders were really annoying. As long as he and Kushina left Hyuga's house, they would be watched. What's more, Uchiha Liang can't improve his strength anymore. The side effect of forcibly improving chakra is very big. His life energy is now dry, and his lifespan is less than a year. If you forcibly refine chakra again, you will definitely burp. Tonight is the night of the full moon, and the bright moonlight falls on the village of Konoha, making the dark night a little brighter. The Hokage building is extremely bright. It is already 12 o'clock in the evening, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is still working in the Hokage office, which is the hard work of being a Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen was holding a document and was watching the review when the door to Hokage's office opened. Anbu with his head down walked in. Who are you? Why haven't I seen you? Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, looking at the Anbu member. The one who killed you. Raising his head, the orangutan Yuhi looked directly at Sarutobi Hiruzen with incomparable eyes, full of murderous intent and tyranny, and 3 black tomo spun in his eyes. On the orders of Lord Danzo, I'm here to take your life and die. Kaden fire style, fierce dragon flame jutsu. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face sank, and with both hands hand seal, he blocked the fire dragon that was rushing towards him with the earth flow wall. Was secretly protecting Sarutobi Hiruzen, also reacted and instantly appeared around Uchiha Ryo, surrounding him in the middle. Who the hell are you? Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was extremely gloomy. Although the other party said that he came under the order of Danzo, he would not believe the information given by an enemy, and the other party also had Sharingan. Or Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't want to believe it. Humph. Dead people don't need so much nonsense. Mangekyo Sharingan, go. Uchiha Ryo's Sharingan spun rapidly and turned into the shape of a Fuma Shuriken. The evil atmosphere enveloped the entire building, and some Anbu ninjas were shocked, and the kunai in their hands fell to the ground. This is Mangekyo Sharingan. You turned on Mangekyo Sharingan. Sarutobi Hiruzen was really shocked this time. Sarutobi Hiruzen almost grew up listening to the legend of Mangekyo Sharingan, and had seen the mighty and unparalleled Uchiha Madara, and knew how powerful Mangekyo Sharingan was. Shoot him down with all his strength. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted, and then used the B-rank Kaden, fire-style, big flame bullet. The others set off one after another, and kunai and the shuriken were mixed with the detonating talisman, and they threw them at Uchiha Ryo together. According to normal circumstances, Uchiha Ryo might be really cold, but if he owns Mangekyo Sharingan, it would be an insult to Mangekyo Sharingan if he hangs up so easily. A yellow arm appeared, blocking all attacks, and Uchiha Ryo was unharmed. This is Susanoo's initial state. Although the defense is not too strong, it is enough to resist most ninjutsu attacks. As Uchiha Ryo's chakra was consumed, the skeleton formed by chakra covered him, and the skeleton quickly grew blood and meridians, and finally put on the Wadingbu armor and grew into a third form. The huge Susanoo was 30 meters long, as big as a hill. The Hokage building had been shattered, and Sarutobi Hiruzen was blasted out. The powerful and evil chakra shocked the entire Konoha village, and countless ninjas woke up from their sleep and looked at the huge and desperate Susanoo. What the hell is going on? Did someone attack Konoha? It seems to be in the direction of the Hokage building. Hurry up and have a look. Lord Hokage, don't have any trouble. Countless ninjas rushed towards the Hokage building. Chapter 48 End. Sarutobi, what's going on? Old man, are you all right? Homura Mitokado, Kaharu Udatain, two advisors, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Anbu Minister Hatake Sakumo, the patriarchs of the major families, all rushed here and looked at the tall Susanoo. It's okay, this is Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil technique Susanoo, which claims to be a divine technique that will inevitably kill you once you see it with your own eyes. If all the ninjas below Jonin retreat, they won't have any effect. Sarutobi Hiruzen told the crowd. Sharingan. Everyone turned their eyes to Uchiha, with a questioning look in their eyes, and even a trace of suspicion. Uchiha's face darkened, and then he said, I have never seen this ninja, we don't have this person in the Uchiha family. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep look at Uchiha, and he was also very suspicious of Uchiha. Where's Danzo? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked when he glanced at the audience and saw that Danzo wasn't there. At the same time, he felt a little bit in his heart. Could it be that it was really sent by Danzo? I'm here. Shimura Danzo stepped forward, looked at Uchiha Ran, who was shrouded in yellow Susanoo. A look of surprise flashed in his eyes, and then disappeared. No one noticed. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and said, take him first and then talk about it. Also, hurry up and evacuate the civilians, and the civilians must not be harmed. Boom! A huge sword fell, a deep ravine appeared in the ground, and several houses were destroyed. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt a cold sweat. He was just patronizing and giving orders, and he was almost killed by a knife. Stop talking about Sarutobi-sensei, hurry up and attack. Stop it first and then, Shulker Snake Hand. Countless big snakes bit towards Susanoo. There are really few people who can defeat Susanoo by Konoha now. I'm afraid I'll have a headache this time. Hyuga-chen, who was hiding in the dark, laughed. This is also true. It is very difficult to break through the mature Susanoo with a strong attack, unless Sarutobi Hiruzen makes a full shot, or it will take time. Now Konoha's strength is not really strong. Sanin has not grown up yet, and now he is relying on 3 cage-level characters, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Danzo, and Hatake Sakumo. The patriarchs of the other major families are all quasi-shadow or elite Jonin, and they can't help Susanoo at all. Looking at it this way, Konoha is really a little weak. Hyuga-chan complained. I saw Susanoo rushing into the crowd, killing the quartet, and in just a split second, 4 Jonin had died and more were injured. However, Uchiha Liang is also not feeling well. There is a saying that more ants kill elephants, not to mention Uchiha Liang is not an elephant. The combined use of ninjutsu is not as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. With so many attacks, Susanoo also has a gap. Although it can also be repaired by chakra, the chakra consumed is too fast, and Uchiha Ryo can't hold on at all. Fujutsu Phantom Body. An identical Susanoo appeared on the battlefield, making everyone in Konoha even more desperate. Everyone is working together, the enemy can't hold on anymore. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted loudly. He had seen Uchiha Ryo shrouded in Susanoo. His eyes started to bleed, and he couldn't hold on anymore. After Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted, other people saw it too, and immediately became excited. The strength in his hand increased again, and the ninjutsu was continuously released. Hey, although I know that I can't handle the storm, it's too much. Hyuga-chen couldn't describe it, and he couldn't raise his head when he was beaten. That is, he just started to stand up. Just now, Hyuga-chen thought that Konoha was going to have a headache, but now she slapped her face in an instant. With a crackling sound, Hyuga-chen felt a pain in her face. It doesn't seem to be able to surpass cage level, and it is still impossible to ignore the advantage of the number of people. Even if there is Susanoo, it is inevitable. But I don't agree to end it so soon. Hyuga-chen laughed, and then the chakra in the body, through the connection of Tenseigan, poured into Uchiha Ryo's body. The crumbling Susanoo rose again, and the two Susanoos attacked frantically, and Jonin was hacked to death more than a dozen in a row as if he was being cut into wheat. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt distressed, and quickly removed the Jonin. This Susanoo is simply a harvester. Chopping Jonin is as easy as cutting vegetables. Spirituality Ape Demon. Without giving the ape a chance to speak, Sarutobi Hiruzen turned it into a Vajra Rui stick. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved the Vajra Rui stick, jumped up and smashed the stick on Susanoo. Click. The sound of cracking sounded, and a spider web-like crack appeared on Susanoo, as if it was about to shatter. Boom. The gigantic Susanoo couldn't hold on any longer, and broke apart with a bang, and countless ninjutsu poured down on the exposed Uchiha Ryo. Uchiha's cool pupils focused on the phantom body and switched bodies with the phantom body, avoiding the deadly attack, but the phantom body had already been beaten to ashes. Let's capture it. Say your purpose, and maybe you can absolve you of your sins. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with an ugly face. The battle just now, nearly 20 Jonins died, and one elite Jonin died and was seriously injured. The entire Konoha, including the hidden power of the major families, Jonin will not exceed 500, which is even the elite Jonin and Quenying. So this time, although it's not really hurting Konoha, it definitely hurts Konoha's flesh. Hey tilde Amaterasu. Uchiha Ryo's gaze focused on an elite Jonin, burning all the black flames and swallowing the elite Jonin. The ninja next to him saw it. He immediately released Suiten, water style, trying to help him put out the flames, but instead of putting out the flames, the water flow made the fire even bigger, and even the water burned. This flame can't be extinguished. Use the sealing technique, quickly seal it up. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared. Jonin who had been burned to death, Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart hurt even more, and his eyes became colder. Ha ha ha, the Uchiha family, live forever. Uchiha Ryo destroyed his eyes, then detonated the detonating talisman on his body, and with a bang, it turned into pieces of meat in the sky. Everyone's faces were extremely ugly. Although the enemy was dead, they felt even more uncomfortable. Patriarch Uchiha, I need an explanation. Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice was frosty. Explain? I don't know anything myself. How can I explain that among the people who just died in the battle, aren't there any members of my Uchiha family? Uchiha was also full of fire. Sakumo, you led Anbu to check it for me. I don't believe that this Uchiha tribe popped out of nowhere. Even if you rummage through Konoha, you will also give me a result. This time Sarutobi Hiruzen is really on fire, openly attacking the Hokage building, and causing Konoha's ninjas to suffer heavy casualties. There must be a result in this matter, or does he want his face? Yes. Hataki Sakumo nodded. I hope all the families will cooperate. I think you are also curious about who the murderer who attacked Konoha is. Sarutobi Hiruzen also gave Uchiha a special look. Chapter 49 Graduate. If there is anything in this world that is the most ruthless, it is time, and time is passing fast like flowing water. In a blink of an eye, it was Hyuga-chen's graduation season. It had been more than 4 years since what happened last time. Hataki Sakumo led Anbu and rummaged through the entire Konoha, but also failed to find the Uchiha who attacked Hokage. This is also inevitable, that Uchiha Ryo is organized in the root. What is the root? once it enters, there is no future or past. Danzo has long since erased all the information of Uchiha Ryo. The Uchiha family doesn't even know about Uchiha Ryo, or there may have been one, but he was dead in the records. This matter is so small, but Sarutobi Hiruzen still counts that incident on the head of the Uchiha family. Danzo was in the past, nothing happened, these Hyuga-chen didn't know, it wouldn't be surprising even if they knew. The relationship between Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo can't be finished in 3 days and 3 nights, so Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely not trouble Danzo. However, after what happened last time, Danzo also calmed down and didn't bother with Hyuga-chen again. Now Hyuga-chen is not afraid of Danzo's trouble. Now it's not the same as before, if Danzo dares to come to him again, Hyuga-chen doesn't mind leveling the whole route. Now his strength, it is no exaggeration to say that there is no problem in picking a village alone, even if Uchiha Madara comes, it is also a proper hang. It's not that Hyuga-chen is swollen, but that he is extremely swollen. Even if 6 paths are coming, he dares to wrestle with him. All right, the above is purely bragging, but it is still possible to single out Konoha village by one person. Chakra of the tailed beast level, the physical technique of blowing up a hill with one punch, even the current Uchiha Madara, dare not say that he can beat him steadily. This is the strength he has improved in recent years, more pervert than imagined. To the quality and quantity of chakra, among the tailed beasts, only Kyubi, 9 tails, can surpass him, and even the 8-tailed bull ghost cannot compare to Hyuga-chen. And Taiju Hyuga-chen is definitely the strongest in the ninja world right now, there is no doubt about that. All of Tenseigön's abilities can be used now. It is worth mentioning that Hyuga-chen's Tenseigen chakra pattern is not green, but blue, which is the same color as ordinary chakra, but with a darker color. That's fine, Hyuga-chen didn't want to be enveloped in forgiveness, and those who didn't know it thought it was a green glow. In fact, Otsutsuki Shiran's Tenseigen chakra pattern is not green, but indigo. After entering the Tenseigen chakra mode, Hyuga-chen can briefly enter the 6 paths level, which is considered pseudo 6 paths. So at this time, Hyuga-chen is not afraid of anyone at all, even if the old man of 6 paths comes out, Hyuga-chen is not afraid of him. Hyuga-chen's pupil technique, Gao Tianyuan, can be immune to all damage after activation. This is Hyuga-chen's confidence. Unlike Obito's Kamui, Gao Tianyuan does not escape into space to avoid, but is immune to all damage. Even if Otsutsuki Kagaya swells Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, at Hyuga-chen, Hyuga-chen will be fine, that's how pervert. Pupil technique is pervert, and the consumption is naturally not small. With Hyuga-chen's huge pupil power and chakra, he can only open it for 10 minutes at most. So now Hyuga-chen has swelled up and is not afraid of anyone. In fact, if you really fight against a 6 paths level enemy, Hyuga-chen will lose. Although his ability is pervert, his hard power is a little worse, unless Hyuga-chen can liberate Ryujin Jaka. The past few years, Hyuga-chen has also drawn 4 prizes, but I don't know if it was because I had drawn Ryujin Jaka, and then my luck ran out. Except for a Mangekyo Sharingan evolution fluid, everything else was garbage. However, Hyuga-chen is also very satisfied. With this Mangekyo Sharingan evolution fluid, Makoto can open the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. This is worth 300,000 redemption points in the mall. If it wasn't for Hyuga-chen's draw this time, it would take more than 10 years to buy it. And in a few days, there will be another chance to draw a lottery, and I don't know if I can draw something good. In addition to Hyuga-chen's strength enhancement, Makoto and Kushina's strength is also very terrifying. Makoto has already started 3 Tomo Sharingan, and the strength of one suit reaches Jonin. Kushina is also Jonin's strength, and even now Kushina is stronger than Makoto. The 3 of them are definitely the strongest students in the ninja world, their strength is already cage level Jonin, and they are still living in the ninja school. Today is the last day of Hyuga-chen and the others at school. Today is the graduation exam. Those who pass the exam will become real ninjas. And those who do not pass the exam will be repeated in the ninja school, or choose other professions, not a ninja. After Hyuga Tatsu, Makoto, and Kushina came to the classroom together, Ueno Shuri was already waiting here. Nodding to the teacher, the three returned to their seats. Ueno Shuri did not speak, and his expression was a little unsightly, which made the class extremely silent. Ueno Shuri didn't speak until after the arrival of Class A in Year 5. I've been with you for 5 years, and it's time to say goodbye. Although I usually feel that you have a lot of headaches, but now that you're leaving, the teacher is really sad. Ueno Shuri said with some yuhi in his eyes. Cut. The teacher is so old, and she still has to cry. I'm not ashamed, Naoki said disdainfully. Naoki, what did you stinky boy say? It's just because the wind was too strong, and the sand got into my eyes. I wish you bastards would leave quickly. Ueno Shuri said angrily. Don't worry, Ueno-sensei. We will come to see you later. Namikaze Minato showed a warm and sunny smile. This time, Ueno Shuri was silent, making the whole class quiet. Namikaze Minato thought that he had said something wrong. To be honest, in fact, I really think that all of you will not pass the exam. Ueno Shuri said in a heavy tone. Just a few days ago, the country of fire and the country of rain started a war, and the country of wind and the country of soil also joined in. The two sides used the country of rain as the battlefield to start small-scale trials. Graduating now is not a good thing for them, and maybe some people will die on the battlefield. Although Ueno Shuri has never been on the battlefield, he has seen the tragic scenes of Konoha after the First Ninja World War. At that time, he was only 7 or 8 years old, watching the triumphant return of Konoha, a ninja with a broken limb and a broken arm. So he didn't want his students to go through this kind of thing. Teacher, I know you hate us, but you don't need to curse us for not passing the test. Naoki said dissatisfiedly. Ha ha, it's the teacher who's wrong, anyway, as long as you try your best. Ueno Shuri scratched his head. Chapter 50 directed by Jonan Tsunade. The current graduation assessment is stricter than at the beginning of the plot, not only assessing the three-body technique, but also assessing the actual combat ability and basic theory. This is not difficult for the people in Class A. Not a single person in the entire class has been brushed down. All the tests have passed and they have become real ninjas. Seeing this scene, Ueno Shuri smiled bitterly, and I don't know if it was luck or sadness. If placed in peacetime, Ueno Shuri would definitely jump for joy. Now Ueno Shuri just wants these students to live safely. After the assessment was over, he was waiting to guide Jonan. Ueno Shuri left after finishing the class, and the whole class was in chaos. Chen, who do you think our teacher is? Kushina leaned on Hyuga Chen's back and asked softly. I don't know what to expect. How do I know this? Hyuga Chen and the three of them were divided into the same class. I don't know if it was intentional or just luck. It's so boring, wouldn't you guess? Kushina said dissatisfied. I only know a few Jonans in total. That's Tsunade, Orochimaru, and Jiraiya. How would I know who is our leading teacher? Maybe Tsunade-san, too, Makoto interjected. It's a coincidence that we were in the same class. How could it be that Tsunade was the teacher who led the team? She didn't guide Jonan at all, okay. Hyuga Chen complained slightly. Oh, are you very dissatisfied with me being your guide Jonan? Tsunade pushed open the door and walked in. Sister, you are actually the instructor of Jonan, can you be the team leader? Naoki looked at Tsunade suspiciously. Naoki, what do you mean? Look down on your sister and me, and don't call me old sister, do I look old? Tsunade was so angry that he raised his fist to beat him. Naoki immediately confessed, he knew exactly how violent his sister was. Humph, come with me the three of you. Tsunade walked out of the classroom after saying that. Hyuga-chan shrugged, then said to Makoto and Kushina, let's go. I didn't expect that Makoto was right, and it was really Tsunade. Ha ha ha, your guide, Jonan, is my elder sister, so I'll wish you good luck here. Naoki raised his head and laughed, looking at the three of Hyuga-chan sympathetically. Bump! A stone flew from outside, knocking Naoki to the ground in an instant. Naoki, if you dare to talk nonsense again, go back and I'll make you look good. Tsunade's voice came from outside, causing all the classmates to look at Naoki with sympathy. Tisk tisk. Renwan is not good. Let's go. Don't pay attention to this secondhand. Followed Tsunade and stopped until he reached Konoha's training ground. We're so familiar, we don't need to introduce ourselves, but now we have to fight. I want to see your specific strength. Tsunade clenched his fists. Okay, I just want to see my own strength too. Sister Tsunade, you have to be careful. Kushina looked eager to try. Come on. Tsunade smiled slightly. Hyuga-chen, she may not be an opponent, but against Kushina, Tsunade felt relaxed. According to the strength of her own special Jonin when she was 10 years old, according to calculations, Kushina will not exceed the special Jonin. She does not think that Kushina's talent is better than her own. This is Tsunade's confidence. But this time Tsunade really got it wrong. Kushina is really stronger than her 10-year-old, and she is much stronger. Seal art adamantine sealing chains. 5 chakra chains were swung towards Tsunade under the control of Kushina. The chains danced in the air with a cracking sound. 4 chains blocked Tsunade's retreat, and the remaining one was like a whip, lashing towards Tsunade. Makoto quickly shot. I am definitely not a match for Tsunade's sister. Chen, please don't help. Kushina wanted to see if he and Makoto could beat Tsunade. Hyuga-chen shrugged, then jumped up and jumped to the top of the big tree next to him to watch the play. Makoto nodded, dressed in a ninja outfit, looking a little heroic. Wei, Wu, Si, Chen, Zi, Ugly, Yin, Kaden Fire Style, Fire Dragon Fire Bomb. The Makoto hand seal is very fast, 5 seals per second, but in just over a second, the ninjutsu is released. Makoto's ninjutsu and Kushina's chakra chains attacked Tsunade, completely blocking all of Tsunade's escape routes. Feeling the blazing flames and waving the chakra chains of the afterimages of his debut, Tsunade put away his contempt. Kicked out a vacuum slash, faced the chakra chain, and then hand-sealed with both hands, using the water formation wall to block Makoto's fire dragon bullet. Although Kushina's chakra chain was not broken, it still flew out. Next, Makoto and Kushina cooperated. Kushina was in charge of control, Makoto was in charge of attacking with Kaden fire style mixed with demonic illusion attacks from time to time, and actually suppressed Tsunade. It's not even 10 years old, and the 3-tomo Sharingan has already been opened. Looking at the entire Uchiha family, no one can match it. Tsunade admired the 3-tomo Sharingan who looked at the Makoto orangutan Yuhi. 3-tomo Sharingan before the age of 10, this Tsunade has never heard of it. Makoto's later achievements may be comparable to the legendary Uchiha Madara. Tsunade has seen the power of Mangekyo Sharingan, and even she can hardly break Susanoo's defense. If Makoto opens Mangekyo over time, her teacher may not be an opponent. Okay, stop here. Tsunade stopped after seeing the strength of Makoto and Kushina. Not going on. Kushina scratched her head, then put away the chakra chain. No, I just want to see your strength. Your strength is very strong. You are definitely the best talent I have ever seen. Even I can't compare. Tsunade praised without hesitation. Chen is much better than us. Makoto smiled softly. Tsunade glanced at Hyuga-chen who was sitting on the tree, then said, he's not a normal person anymore. Hyuga-chen was able to beat himself more than 4 years ago, and now Tsunade doesn't know how strong Hyuga-chen is. However, she knew that the strength of her quasi-shadow was definitely not Hyuga-chan's opponent. Tsunade, are you complimenting me or mocking me? Hyuga-chen jumped down from the tree and said depressedly. You can understand it yourself. Tsunade turned his head. I don't have anything to teach you right now. You already have the strength. The rest is experience, but this requires your own understanding and experience, and I can't help you. Tsunade said with a wry smile. Her guidance, Jonin, should be the easiest. There is no need to teach the disciples at all, just carry out the tasks and accumulate experience. Chapter 51 Help Makoto Drive Mangekyo. Makoto, do you want to turn on Mangekyo Sharingan? Hyuga-chan asked Makoto suddenly. Hyugatatsu's words attracted the attention of Kushina and Tsunade. Turn on Mangekyo, do you have a way? Tsunade came over and asked, wrapping his arms around his neck. Of course there is a way, even if you have a pair of Sharingan, I can also turn on Mangekyo for you. Hyuga-chan said proudly. Chen, didn't you say that after turning on Mangekyo, with gradual use, Mangekyo Sharingan will go blind? Makoto asked worriedly. What she cares about is not blindness, but after blindness, she will never be able to see Hyuga-chan again. It's okay. A solution has been found. Hyuga-chan said with a smile. Ha ha ha, Mangekyo Sharingan will be blind. Where did you hear the fake news? It made me laugh to death. Who told you that Mangekyo Sharingan would go blind? Tsunade asked, laughing. Ah, Chen said it, isn't it? Of course it's not right. Uchiha Madara also turned on Mangekyo Sharingan, but I never heard that he was blind. Chen, you don't hear any fake news. Tsunade rubbed Hyuga-chan's head with his hands. Hyuga-chan pushed her hand away angrily, and straightened her hair. The head can be broken, the blood can flow, but the hair can't be messed up. Makoto, let's ignore him. We think we understand it well. In fact, we don't know anything. If you are ignorant, don't talk. If you say it, it will only make people laugh. Even the Uchiha family doesn't know how to open their eyes. How would you know? Tsunade thinks that it should be Hyuga-chan reading some book somewhere, and then she thinks she knows Sharingan. She dare not let Hyuga-chan mess around. Hyuga-chan was depressed and said that I was ignorant, and it was clearly you who was ignorant. Sister Tsunade, I believe in Tatsu. Makoto shook his head at Tsunade, then looked at Hyuga Tatsu firmly. Hyuga-chan suddenly became complacent and looked at Tsunade with smug eyes. See, Makoto still believes me. Damn, seeing your proud face makes me want to punch you in the face, Tsunade said, biting Kiba. You don't want to hurt Makoto. Tsunade finally reminded. Don't worry, how could I be willing to hurt Makoto? Hyuga-chan replied with a guilty conscience. After that, I really want to make Makoto suffer a little bit, and I hope Makoto won't beat himself by then. Makoto is so gentle, shouldn't he? Hyuga-chan took out a kunai and placed it in Makoto's hand. Although Makoto was puzzled, he reached out and took it. Makoto, the way to start Mangekyo is. Puchi, the kunai in Makoto's hand was grabbed by Hyuga-chan and stabbed into his chest. Makoto looked at Hyuga-chan stupidly, watching this scene with a look of horror and disbelief on his face. Chen, me. There were painful tears in Makoto's eyes. Sharingan subconsciously turned on, and the three tomo spun rapidly. Hyuga-chan lying in his arms, and feeling Hyuga-chan's gradually disappearing body temperature, Makoto completely collapsed. Chen, I don't want you to die. Makoto shouted. The three tomo Sharingans were joined together, and a pair of cherry blossom-shaped Mangekyo Sharingan appeared in Makoto's eyes. But Makoto didn't notice it, just hugged Hyuga-chan with a painful expression on his face. Chen, you're joking opposite me. I don't want you to be in trouble. I won't turn on Mangekyo. Can you come back to life? Makoto's face was full of pain. Looking at the kunai in his hand, Makoto stabbed towards his chest without hesitation. Just as he was about to stab himself, a large hand grabbed Makoto's. Makoto looked at Hyuga-chan in his arms with surprise and excitement, tears of surprise on his face. Makoto, the illusion is over. Hyuga-chan, who was lying in Makoto's arms, said with a smile. After Hyuga-chan finished speaking, the surrounding space shattered and the environment changed drastically. Makoto looked at Hyuga-chan who was standing in front of him without the slightest injury, and threw himself into his arms. Tatsu, tell me if this is a dream. Makoto hugged Hyuga Tatsu and looked at Hyuga Tatsu with a look of anticipation on his face. The illusion just now was so real that she couldn't tell the difference. She just wanted to pray that everything just now was an illusion. Of course this isn't a dream. It was just a dream, a nightmare. Now that you wake up, what you have to face is a better tomorrow. Hyuga-chan hugged Makoto tightly and said distress-edly. Actually he didn't want Makoto to go through this, but it was the only way he could think of. Makoto is different from other Uchiha clan. She is gentle and kind, and other Uchiha clan people, she is two extremes, so it is more difficult to open Mangekyo. Hyuga-chen has no choice but to use demonic illusion on Makoto, let her experience the painful things in demonic illusion, and then activate Mangekyo through stimulation. What's wrong with you, Makoto? Turn on Mangekyo Sharingan, you should be happier. Kushina came over and looked at Makoto suspiciously. From her and Tsunade's point of view, when Tatsu walked in front of Makoto, Makoto suddenly turned on Mangekyo, and then burst into Tatsu's arms with tears in her eyes. Let them both still feel inexplicable now. You really helped Makoto open Mangekyo Sharingan. Tsunade couldn't believe what he saw. Chen, this matter must not be revealed, otherwise not only the Uchiha family, but others will also trouble you. Tsunade became serious. If it is revealed that Hyuga-chan can open Mangekyo Sharingan, the Uchiha family will definitely send someone to tie him up. Not wanting to let the Uchiha family have Mangekyo's top Konoha, will definitely send someone to assassinate him, or imprison him. In short, as long as it is exposed, it will only do bad things to Hyuga-chen, not any good. Hyuga-chen smiled and didn't say anything. He knew that Tsunade was good to him, but Hyuga-chen didn't care anymore. With his current strength, he was not afraid of anyone making trouble. Sorry Makoto. Chen looked at Makoto in his arms apologetically. What the hell happened? In an instant, Makoto's Mangekyo opened. This Mangekyo Sharingan is too worthless. Tsunade couldn't help but complain. Makoto's eyes are so beautiful, like a cherry blossom that is about to bloom. Kushina's focus is completely different from Tsunade. Don't do this in the future, I'm really scared, really scared. Makoto raised his head and looked at Chen with tears in his eyes. I promise, this will never happen in the future. Hyuga-chen patted his chest and assured. Tisk tisk. You look so affectionate, I'm envious. Tsunade's eyes flashed with an imperceptible envy. Kushina pouted, even though she was ready to serve with Makoto, she couldn't help but feel jealous. At this time, Makoto stopped his emotions and shyly buried his head in Hyuga-chen's arms. The experience in the fantasy world just now had a big impact on Makoto, and now Makoto is reluctant to let go of Hyuga-chan's hand, for fear that Hyuga-chan will disappear as soon as he lets go. Chapter 52 Eye of Eternal Mangekyo Pervert. Makoto, this is for you. Hyuga-chen took out an emerald green potion and handed it to Makoto. What a powerful life force, what is this? Tsunade came closer, and he could feel the powerful life force through the bottle of Tsunade. Can you study it for me? No, this is for Makoto to evolve eyes, and you can't study anything. Hyuga-chen shook his head firmly, even Tsunade couldn't study this thing. The things that come out of the system, research is useless, anyway, research can't come up with anything. This medicine is drawn during the lottery, and the mall can't buy it at all. At first Hyuga-chen thought it was the same as the one in the mall, but yesterday, Hyuga-chen looked at the introduction and found that this potion can not only evolve Sharingan, but also get Sage Body. This is even more precious. If the mall has this potion, it will definitely cost more than 700,000 exchange points. So Hyuga-chan couldn't do research for Tsunade. This was related to Makoto's eyes. What if the research was scrapped? I'm so kind to you, sister, don't let me study it now. Tsunade said angrily, feeling a little sad. It's alright, Tatsu, let's show Tsunade-san. Makoto said. No, I got it with great difficulty. If the research is broken, what can I do with your eyes, Makoto? Other things can be done, but this one is absolutely impossible. Hyuga-chan was extremely determined. HMPH. If you give it to me, I can definitely return you 10 bottles. Tsunade said confidently. In her opinion, since Hyuga-chan has this potion, it must be researched by others, and Tsunade thinks she is no weaker than anyone. Ha ha. Hyuga-chan chuckled twice, clearly distrusting Tsunade. Tsunade was so angry, he squeezed Hyuga-chan's cheeks with both hands and kneaded so hard that Hyuga-chan's cheeks were deformed. You stinky brat, you're not as cute as you used to be, Tsunade said angrily. Sister Tsunade, don't blame me, this potion is very important to Makoto, and I can't say his origin, it's impossible to copy. Hyuga-chan took Tsunade's hand away and said to Tsunade seriously. I don't mean to blame you, it's just that you don't believe in my ability, which makes me very unhappy. Tsunade said dissatisfiedly. It's not that I don't believe you, let's just say it. This potion can even give a person the chance to awaken Mokuden, wood style, and you think you can copy it? Hyuga-chan said with a wry smile. Hyuga-chan is right, although this is the evolution potion of Mangekyo, but it can make people have the body of a fairy. It is the body of a real fairy. It is not impossible to give birth to Mokuden, wood style. Mokuden, wood style, was born. Tsunade was silent this time. If she could really have Mokuden, wood style, then she really couldn't replicate this potion. She still had this self-knowledge. Makoto, hurry up and take it. In the future, I might be able to hang Uchiha Madara and become the strongest ninja of the Uchiha family. Hyuga-chan handed the potion to Makoto. Yeah, Makoto didn't hesitate, opened the lid, raised his head and drank. After taking the medicine, Makoto felt that his cells were extremely active, the chakra began to soar, and the pupil power was increasing rapidly, almost infinite. The pattern of the eyes changed again. If Makoto's eyes were cherry blossoms that had not yet bloomed just now, they are now fully blooming cherry blossoms. The powerful pupil power burst out, forcing both Tsunade and Kushina to take a few steps back, looking at Makoto in shock. Mangekyo Sharingan can really evolve. Feeling the pressure from Makoto, Tsunade was shocked. Don't think Tsunade is the princess of the Senju family, but she doesn't know much about the Sharingan of the old rival family. Even know about the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan in the entire ninja world, and almost all of them are dead. Otherwise, why do you think Uchiha Madara is fighting with your grandfather? If there is no eternal Mangekyo, he will not be hammered by your grandfather. Hyuga-chan complained. Speaking of which, Uchiha Madara is also a tragedy, and has always been suppressed by the big Jinchuriki column. That is, Uchiha Madara, how could it be my grandfather's opponent? Tsunade said slightly meanly. At this time, Makoto's eyes have evolved to the eternal Mangekyo, the number and quality of chakra have increased dramatically, and his strength has been forcibly upgraded to quasi-shadow. If it is not for his young age, Makoto is now cage level. How does Makoto feel? Hyuga-chan asked. It feels very powerful. I feel that my pupil power is endless, and the chakra has skyrocketed more than 10 times. I feel that Tsunade's sister is not my opponent. Makoto smiled mischievously. You're right, Tsunade will never beat you. Hyuga-chan nodded in agreement. Humph. Tsunade grunted unhappily, but did not refute. If it is Makoto from Mangekyo before, Tsunade still has confidence, but he really has no confidence in Makoto whose strength is soaring now. Makoto, what are the abilities of your two Mangekyos? Hyuga-chan asked curiously. Sharingan is the eye that portrays the soul, and almost everyone is born with different techniques. There are some Mangekyo pupil techniques, but they are very pervert. Example, Kamui of Uchiha Obito, and Koto Amatsukami of Uchiha Shisui, are all very anti-sky pupils, so Hyuga-chan is very curious about the pupils born by Makoto. The left eye is the cherry blossom blade, which can release countless cherry blossoms, and all the cherry blossoms are transformed by the blade, which can control the cherry blossom blade to strangle the enemy. Makoto first introduced the ability of the left eye. By the way, I will also demonstrate that the countless falling cherry blossoms are very beautiful, but there is a hidden murder in the beauty. Under the control of Makoto, the rocks can be easily crushed. Looking at this familiar attack, Hyuga-chen was stunned. Isn't this the ability of Dabai's Zanpakuto Senbon Sakura? It's so beautiful. If only I had such abilities. Kushina was even more envious, and couldn't help complaining about why he wasn't a member of the Uchiha family. The attack is too scattered. It looks gorgeous, but the attack power is insufficient. Hyuga-chen gave a very pertinent evaluation. Makoto smiled. She was very satisfied with this pupil technique, or there was no woman who didn't like it. My right eye pupil technique is nothing. As long as it is something I don't agree with, it will become an illusion. Makoto whispered another pupil technique. This time, including Hyuga-chen, everyone was stunned. Makoto doesn't agree with will become fake. This pupil technique is too pervert, and can be compared with Hyuga Tatsu's pupil technique, Takatenhara. How can there be such a pervert's pupil technique? Tsunade couldn't believe it. Is this still an ability that humans can use? I'm afraid this is not the power of God. It's very strong, even I am envious. Hyuga-chen didn't know what to say. Thinking of the scene when Makoto opened his eyes, Hyuga-chen has such a pupil technique for Makoto, so I can understand. Sharingan is the eye that portrays the soul. Makoto didn't believe that Hyuga-chen would die, and he didn't want to believe that Hyuga-chen was dead, so this pervert's pupil technique was born. Chapter 53 Tail Beast Idea. Such a powerful pupil technique must be expensive, right? Hyuga-chen asked Makoto. Yeah, my chakra and pupil power can be used up to twice a day at most. Makoto nodded lightly. Is that right? If you can use this pupil technique indefinitely, wouldn't it be invincible? Kushina said. Is this the ability of Sharingan? It's too powerful. I really don't know how my grandfather defeated Uchiha Madara in the first place. Tsunade also admired him at this moment. Haha tilde if you've seen Senju's magical powers, you should admire Uchiha Madara. Under that kind of pervert's sage art, you can still fight Senju Hashirama. Hyuga-chen complained in his heart. Senju's supernatural power is a real pervert. In the entire Hokage world, there are not many who can beat Shinsa Senju. Just that size can make people desperate. Can beat Uchiha Madara and Kyuubi, Nine Tails, together violently. You can see the power of this ninjutsu. Uchiha Madara is also suffering. Tsunade, do you know when Kyuubi, Nine Tails, will transfer? Hyuga-chen asked a sudden question, which made Tsunade stupid. How did you know? Tsunade can't be surprised or not. The whole Konoha doesn't know much about this. If she hadn't been Uzumaki Mito's granddaughter, she probably wouldn't have known that Kyuubi, Nine Tails, was transferred. Hyuga-chen pretended to be mysterious and said, I don't know much about the whole ninja world. Forget it. I know you won't say it, and I don't ask how you know that, but why are you asking this? You have to make it clear. Tsunade looked serious. Makoto and Kushina stopped talking as if they sensed something subtle, and looked at Hyuga Tatsu and Tsunade. Hyuga-chen didn't mean to hide, and said very directly, I'm playing Kyuubi, Nine Tails, Chakra's idea, which is very important to me. No, the idea of fighting Kyuubi, Nine Tails, in Konoha village, I think you are crazy, and my grandma is a Jinchuriki column force from Kyuubi, Nine Tails, this is absolutely not possible. Tsunade sternly refused. Sister Tsunade, although I'm a little sorry, but I have to get Kyuubi, Nine Tails, chakra. Hyuga-chen smiled apologetically at Tsunade. To cultivate into the Six Paths mode, the only way Hyuga-chen thought of was to gather the chakras of the nine-tailed beasts, or the chakras of the 10 tails, and then integrate the power of the Six Paths. Hyuga-chen Tenseigan contains the power of Six Paths. As long as there is 10 tails chakra, Hyuga-chen is confident to open Six Paths mode and completely enter the Six Paths level, instead of relying on the pseudo Six Paths of Tenseigan chakra mode. So you must get the chakra of the nine-tailed beast, and then fuse it into 10 tails chakra. Chen, let's end this matter. Once your intention to fight Kyubi, Nine Tails, is exposed, even I can't protect you. Kyubi, Nine Tails, is not a sheep to be slaughtered, it is a huge disaster, Tsunade advised. Don't worry, Sister Tsunade, I won't make you embarrassed. If the Kyubi, Nine Tails, seal is successful, I will withdraw directly. If the seal fails, can I take another shot? Okay, I can agree, but you have to prove that you have the strength, or I won't watch you go to death. Seeing Hyuga-chan's determined attitude, Tsunade finally nodded. She understands Hyuga-chan's character, and what she believes must be done. Even if she stops it, it is impossible to stop it. Now Makoto can treat Kyubi, Nine Tails, as a pet, not to mention me. I will never do anything I am not sure about. Hyuga-chan chuckled. The location is the mountain behind Konoha, and the time is 10 days later. Almost all of Konoha's advanced combat power will go there. You have to be careful. Tsunade knew that he couldn't stop it, so he could only remind him to be careful. Also, you mustn't make trouble. If you hurt my grandma, I'm not done with you, Tsunade warned, serious this time. Although Tsunade knew that her grandmother would die, she didn't want her grandmother's death to be related to Hyuga-chan, otherwise she really didn't know how to face Hyuga-chan. Don't worry, unless Kyubi, Nine Tails, breaks free, I will never take action. Hyuga-chan nodded. Even if there is no chance this time, there will be opportunities in the future. In fact, with Hyuga-chan Tensagen's detective ability, even if Tsunade didn't say it, he would also know the movements of Kyubi, Nine Tails. But Hyuga-chan chose to say it, because he didn't want to have any estrangement with Tsunade because of it. Rather than being known by Tsunade afterwards, he might as well say it out loud. Don't rush up recklessly, Konoha's strength is very strong. I don't want to see you get caught, and I don't know how to save you then. There are a lot of people who can beat me, but almost none of them can beat me. Don't worry, you can run even if you can't beat me. Hyuga-chan said confidently. With the space ability and the speed of light moving, absolutely no one can outrun him. Hyuga-chan has absolute confidence in this point, and his ability to escape is very strong. Why do you want to get Kyubi, Nine Tails chakra? Do you also want to become a human Jinchuriki column force? Tsunade was very curious about this, and did not understand why Hyuga-chan was obsessed with Kyubi, Nine Tails chakra. This is a secret, so I won't tell you for the time being. Not only do I want to fight Kyubi, Nine Tails, I'm also fighting other tailed beasts. Hyuga-chan's eyes flashed. You really dare to think? Do you know what the tailed beast means? Tsunade was angry. In Tsunade's opinion, Hyuga-chan was trying to die. The tailed beast is the foundation of a village. Some people can indeed be singled out with the tailed beast, but on the battlefield, 10 ninjas with the same strength as the tailed beast are not as effective as one tailed beast. The tailed beast is the trump card of a village. No matter which village it is very important. Hyuga-chan's move is against the entire ninja world. Seeing Hyuga-chan's firm appearance, Tsunade knew that he couldn't persuade him, so he could only sigh. Let's disband today, and you can cultivate on your own these few days. Now the local war has started, and there is no task. Originally instructing Jonin was to teach students various skills, but in the previous battle, Tsunade found that both Kushina and Makoto had strong fighting skills, and there was no need to teach them. Hyuga-chan is stronger than her, so there is no need for her to teach. Now, because of the eagerness of various countries, the tasks of ninjas are also much less. Although the war has not yet officially started, it is already on the eve of the coming storm, and the storm may pour down at any time. Each village has entered a period of alert, and it is possible to reach the battlefield at any time, and then a full-scale conflict will break out. Tsunade is very busy at this time, or the Jonin in Konoha as a whole, not one is not busy. So Hyuga-chan and the other students in this class are out of luck. Jonin doesn't have time to teach you at all. It can only be said that the time of birth was not good. This has nothing to do with Hyuga-chan, so she happily brought her 2 daughters home. Hyuga-chen has moved away from the Hyuga family. With the money she won at the casino, and the money from Makoto, she bought a lot of money outside. Courtyard. Chapter 54. EPUB 9 Tales released. 10 days have passed in a blink of an eye, and today's Konoha seems to be the same as usual, but secretly personnel are frequently mobilized, and Hanbu ninjas have come out of their nests all over Konoha to prevent outsiders from making trouble. Of Jinchuriki column force is not a trivial matter. If one is not good, the whole village will explode. When night comes, some Pan-Yuhi moon hangs in the sky, full of ominous atmosphere, and the 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen look solemn. Even the rare Danzo led the members of the route to be vigilant around, and Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Jiraiya, who had not yet obtained the title of Sannin, all waited solemnly. EPUB 9 Tails is the strongest of all tailed beasts, and is absolutely super cage level. If it is not Sharingan to restrain the tailed beast, or Uchiha Madara wants to subdue EPUB 9 Tails, it will take some effort. Once EPUB 9 Tails really goes berserk, to be honest, no one can stop the current Konoha, unless they use the Ghoul Seal, which is a seal that perishes together. Mito-san, everything is up to you. Sarutobi Hiruzen bowed slightly to Uzumaki Mito. Grandma. Tsunade had tears in her eyes. Human Jinchuriki column force is drawn by the tailed beast, and there is only one end, and that is death. Ha. Suna doesn't have to be sad. I have been through ups and downs since Sengoku. I think Hashirama is waiting for me too, Uzumaki Mito said with a smile. Now that she has taken light on life and death, while she still has some strength, she will complete the handover of human Jinchuriki column power, otherwise when EPUB 9 Tails breaks the seal, it will be Konoha who will be unlucky. Konoha Village is Hashirama's brainchild, and Uzumaki Mito doesn't want Konoha Village to be destroyed. Protect Naoki well, he is the hope of our Senju family. The seal of the 4 elephants, release. Uzumaki Mito instantly released the seal. Evil chakra overflowed, and everyone felt a sense of depression. This evil and tyrannical chakra, full of murderous hatred and negative emotions, made everyone, including Sarutobi Hiruzen, terrified. Warm me up, the seal squad is ready to seal EPUB 9 Tails at any time. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was solemn. Damn Konoha, damn Uchiha Madara, damn Senju Hashirama, damn Uzumaki, I'm finally out, I'm going to let you die. EPUB 9 Tails roared, venting the anger in his heart. With a body size of 50 or 60 meters, the surrounding ninjas are desperate, and this is EPUB 9 Tails on all fours. If he stands up, he must be nearly 100 meters tall. EPUB 9 Tails, before the old body can't move, you should stop it for me. Because the tailed beast is separated from the body and the life energy is pouring out, Uzumaki Mito's hair has begun to dry and white. But a restrained aura erupted, the huge chakra was shocking, and countless chakra chains appeared, tying the EPUB 9 Tails that had just come out into a zongzi. Damn Uzumaki Mito, don't lock me back, I want to be free. EPUB 9 Tails kept roaring and struggling. Tomoko is a gentle and kind good boy, I hope she can influence you. Uzumaki Mito hand seal with both hands, using the seal of 4 elephants. The sealing team next to him also helped, and wanted to seal EPUB 9 Tails on the side of Uzumaki Tomoko. EPUB 9 Tails, who is struggling constantly, Hyuga-chen in the distant side, won't this guy be awesome in the future? How can I be as embarrassed as a dog now? It seems that it is impossible to get EPUB 9 Tails chakra this time, so we have to wait. After sighing, Hyuga-chen was about to leave. At this moment, things took a turn for the worse. EPUB 9 Tails suddenly exerted strength, broke away the adamantine sealing chains, and swept Uzumaki Mito out with his tail. Uzumaki Mito, who was about to run out of oil, had only one breath left because of EPUB 9 Tails' attack, and was unable to seal EPUB 9 Tails at all. Grandma. Tsunade flew and hugged Uzumaki Mito, looking at EPUB 9 Tails' hatred with sadness on his face. Uzumaki Mito smiled slightly, There's no need to hate Kyubi, Ninetales, it's not bad in nature. It's just human greed that makes it not believe in humans. I owe it to me for imprisoning it for so many years. If you want to go, let it go. After speaking, Uzumaki Mito closed his eyes with a smile. That Uzumaki Mito had no breath, Kyubi, Ninetales, was silent for a while, then said, I didn't want to kill you with my own hands, but you forced me. Looking at everyone in Konoha, Kyubi, Ninetales' breath burst out, like the chakra of the ocean, blowing out the ninja who still wanted to seal it. Look at Uzumaki Mito's face. Let me go, I won't kill you. Kyubi, Ninetales, fluttered his tail, his eyes proud. Without Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, Kyubi, Ninetales, doesn't think anyone in Konoha can stop it. If you want to go, how is it possible? Give me a hand to take down Kyubi, Ninetales. Danzo ordered to do it directly. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent, acquiescing to Danzo's words that Konoha couldn't lose Kyubi, Ninetales. I didn't expect things to take a turn for the better. Hyuga-chen looked at the situation on the field, and stepped back from the steps he had already taken. The greedy and despicable human beings, delusional to gain my power, is simply wishful thinking. Kyubi, Ninetales, was extremely furious, but he did not expect these greedy humans to seek death. A dozen ninjas flew flying with one claw, and then Ultimate's chakra gathered, mixed and compressed into a super dense ball in the mouth at a ratio of 2:8 of yin and yang. No, it's Tailed Beast Bomb, everyone quickly avoid it. Sarutobi Hiruzen greeted him with a stick. He actually knew that what he was shouting was nonsense. How to avoid the Tailed Beast Bomb? He could only stop it forcibly, otherwise few ninjas here would be able to survive. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen can't resist Tailed Beast Bomb, he can forcibly change his direction. Spirituality Triple Rashomon. 3 huge portals rose up, with the heads of evil ghosts printed on them, just like the gates of hell. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that Mie Rashomon couldn't stop Tailed Beast Bomb, and then said to the ape demon who turned into a King Kong Rui stick, Old man, it's up to you next. Sarutobi, you are killing me. I can only block it for a while, and the rest is up to you. Ape demon said, and then his head turned into the shape of a shovel. At this time, the Tailed Beast Bomb had already been sent, and the Triple Rashomon was smashed like a bamboo, and it attacked towards the rear, and the trajectory was only deviated a little. Sarutobi Hiruzen was very dignified, jumped up with a shovel, and then shoveled the huge Tailed Beast Bomb into the sky, making the Tailed Beast Bomb completely deviated from the track and flew into the sky. And the ape demon was directly beaten back to the psychic world, and the 3-generation-old man couldn't bear the power and flew back with blood spurting. Jiraiya quickly catches Sarutobi Hiruzen, otherwise Sarutobi Hiruzen may be killed and become the first shadow to fall to death. Cough cough. Attack quickly, don't give him a chance. Sarutobi Hiruzen said after coughing up a few mouthfuls of old blood. Attack me, Danzo growled, then took the lead in attacking Kyubi, Ninetales. Although Danzo's character is not very good, his strength is not weak, especially Danzo who is in his prime. Chapter 55 Complete Suzanu's Kyubi, Ninetales. The shovel that the monkey demon turned into is really powerful. I don't know how my golden shovel is. Hyuga-chen took out a golden shovel, which was obtained by lottery a few years ago. CF's golden shovel can only be used for collection. Eggs are useless. Tsunade, now is not the time to be sad. Hurry up and stop Kyubi, Ninetales. Once he is allowed into the village, it will be troublesome. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted to Tsunade who was still sad. Grandma said, Kyubi, Ninetales, wants to go, let it go. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent. Let Kyubi, Ninetales, leave. It is impossible, this is the ultimate weapon that threatens other shinobi villages. How could it be possible for Kyubi, Ninetales, to leave? Tsunade, you know the situation of Konoha, now the border is about to move, even the small country of Rain is very ambitious, delusional to become the 6th largest ninja village. We Konoha can't lose Kyubi, Ninetales, otherwise other ninja villages will definitely take the lead against us. Sarutobi Hiruzen explained bitterly. I see. Tsunade handed the body of Uzumaki Mito to the Senju clan next to him. At this time, the Senju clan had not yet died out. Although the population was thin, there were still dozens of people. But this seems a bit pitiful. Once in the Sengoku period, the Senju clan who dominated the world of forbearance, now there are only a few dozen people left, which is simply miserable. Tisk tisk. It's really lively. Don't mind me coming to join in the fun. Hyuga-chan suddenly appeared above Kyubi, Ninetales' head and said with a smile. Damn reptile, get down here. Kyubi, Ninetales, ignored the numerous ninja attacks and patted Hyuga-chan who was standing on its head. Anyway, those ninjas' ninjutsu can't even break its defense, and the reptile standing on top of its head makes it annoying. It remembered that the last person standing on top of it was the Uchiha Madara it hated the most. The act of Hyuga-chan standing on the head of Kyubi, Ninetales, directly ignited the anger in Kyubi, Ninetales' heart and attacked Hyuga-chan desperately. Hyuga-chan flashed lightly, then flew high into the sky, and Kyubi, Ninetales, slapped him on the head, not to mention how stupid it felt. Beasts are beasts, even if they can speak human words, they are stupid enough to beat themselves. Hyuga-chan laughed. Looking at Hyuga-chan in the sky, Kyubi, Ninetales, was furious, biting Kiba and staring at Hyuga-chan, wishing to tear him alive. Who are you and why are you in Konoha Ninja Village? Konoha's ninjas stopped attacking Kyubi, Ninetales. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Hyuga-chan who was floating in the air with a solemn expression. Few in the entire ninja world can fly. It is definitely a headache to encounter such a ninja who can fly. Hyuga-chan will not be stupid enough not to pretend, just appear so open and above board. He uses transformation technique to change his body shape. He wears the same mask as Obito on his face, but Hyuga-chan's mask has 2 holes. However, the eye holes were blocked by the black lenses, and Hyuga-chan's eyes could not be seen at all. His eyes were too conspicuous, and it was easy to recognize them without covering them up. He was wearing the cape of an admiral in the pirate world, and was dressed in a stern outfit. If Tsunade had not known in advance, he would never have recognized it as Hyuga-chan. This guy is really dressed up, Tsunade murmured. At the same time, she breathed a sigh of relief. She was afraid that Hyuga-chan would come over without concealment. You don't need to know who I am. Of course I'm here for the beast of Kyubi, Ninetales. Hyuga-chan sips a beast, making all the ninjas full of black lines, and Kyubi, Ninetales' anger is uncontrollable. It is a self-proclaimed noble-tailed beast. Except for Uchiha Madara, Hyuga-chan is the second person to call him a beast. The old hatred are all counted on Hyuga-chan's head, chakra condensed in his mouth, and then formed a tailed beast bomb. Kyubi, Ninetales, did not launch it, but swallowed the tailed beast bomb and used the tailed beast bomb. Unlike tailed beast bomb is similar to Rasengan, and tailed beast bomb is a chakra-light cannon that swept the audience directly, but the nature is the same. Are you angry? Let me see your strength. Susanoo. The huge chakra spewed out, and then the chakra materialized, and a Valkyrie wrapped in pitch-black Tengu armor appeared. Hyuga-chan used a full-body Susanoo, more than 100 meters tall. Kyubi, Ninetales, lying on the ground was like a child compared to Susanoo. This. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the sky-high giant with a shocked, unbelievable look on his face. Sarutobi Hiruzen, the leader, is already like this, not to mention other ninjas. When Susanoo showed up, they recognized it right away. They had seen it with their own eyes 4 years ago. Now it seems that the Susanoo they have seen should be a child. This is the real Susanoo. It's the Uchiha family again. This family is a cancer. Konoha must not leave this cancer behind. Danzo said angrily. Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted sharply. Although there are no Uchiha family members here, but with such a big movement, the Uchiha family members should be coming soon. If Danzo's words are heard by the Uchiha family, a dispute is absolutely inevitable. Sarutobi, am I wrong? I think this is the conspiracy of the Uchiha family, trying to control Kyubi, Ninetales, and then rebel as Hokage. Danzo keeps pouring dirty water on the Uchiha family. I don't know what the hatred between Danzo and Uchiha is. It's like someone from the Uchiha family gave him a cuckold. Anyway, he took a chance and bit Uchiha. And what Danzo said at this time made some sense. Don't say more, go back first. The three generations didn't want to discuss this, watching Susanoo who slashed the tailed beast bomb with one knife, and hurriedly organized the ninja to retreat back. It's not that the three generations gave up, but that they couldn't intervene at all. The two giants fought, and they were the hands of the children. Susanoo, you belong to the Uchiha family, and Uchiha is going to die. Kyuubi, Ninetales, saw Susanoo and became more emotional. Call your sister. Pick me up, Susanoo Fujian. With Susanoo's stroke, a huge sword slashed diagonally towards Kyuubi, Ninetales with a speed like a streamer. Kyuubi, Ninetales, shrank his pupils, then flexibly dodged, but it was still a little late. Three tails were cut off. Kyuubi, Ninetales' defense had no effect. Jienya cut off the tail of Kyuubi, Ninetales. He continued to fly forward, slashing half of the mountain 10 miles away, and then flew into the distance. Kyuubi, Ninetales, cried out in pain. Although the tailed beasts are all made of chakra, they are also living creatures and have pain sensations. Kyuubi, Ninetales, your strength has disappointed me a lot. It's better to show me some strength to excite me, or I don't mind hacking you to death. Hyuga-chen is in the crystal above Susanoo's head, looking down at Kyuubi, Ninetales like a crawler. You are too arrogant, even Uchiha Madara dare not speak to me like this. Kyuubi, Ninetales roared, and the voice shook the world. Chapter 56 Konoha crowd with EPUB mode turned on. Hyuga-chen looked at Kyuubi, Ninetales with endless contempt. Uchiha Madara even regarded it as a beast, and it can say such things, it's really shameless. Kyuubi, Ninetales let out a loud roar and released a tailed beast bomb again, hitting Hyuga-chen's Susanoo with a loud bang, causing Hyuga-chen to retreat several hundred meters. You're just that much, except for a little more chakra, you're a pig in my eyes. Hyuga-chen repaired the slight damage to Susanoo's armor and said with a little disdain. The full-body Susanoo is indeed powerful and can hardwire tailed beast bomb, and it is also the tailed beast bomb of Kyuubi, Ninetales. You bastard! Kyuubi, Ninetales yelled angrily. Susanoo's offensive and defensive skills really made Kyuubi, Ninetales uncomfortable. Tailed beasts are okay against normal ninjas, because it is difficult for normal ninjas to break their defenses. The face of Hyuga-chen's Susanoo, Kyuubi, Ninetales, will be out of luck. Kyuubi, Ninetales, can indeed break Susanoo's defense, but it requires continuous bombing. Hyuga-chen will not give it a chance. When Kyuubi, Ninetales was about to hit the second tailed beast bomb, Susanoo came to Kyuubi, Ninetales retracted the tachi, and punched Kyuubi, Ninetales on the chin, making Kyuubi, Ninetales' chin. Ninetales' tailed beast bomb choked back. Kyuubi, Ninetales, the incarnation of disaster, is nothing more than that. Hyuga-chen manipulated Susanoo, lifted Kyuubi, Ninetales, and threw it several kilometers away from Konoha village. Hyuga-chen wants to take down Kyuubi, Ninetales. It is a bit troublesome to rely on Susanoo alone, and the destructive power of both sides is too great, and it is easy to spread to Konoha village. It doesn't matter if Hyuga-chen is there, but Makoto and Kushina are still in the village, and Tsunade will definitely be sad if Konoha is destroyed because of their fight. Throwing Kyuubi, Ninetales, Hyuga-chen put away the docked tail of Kyuubi, Ninetales, and then ran towards Kyuubi, Ninetales, crossing nearly 100 meters in one step, and came to Kyuubi, Ninetales in an instant. Tails, and then kicked Kyuubi, Ninetales, for several kilometers. This time, it is completely far away from Konoha. If you don't attack in the direction of Konoha deliberately, it will never affect Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others, who were watching from a distance, fell silent as they watched this scene. Sharingan's power is really powerful. This is already a legendary technique of the gods. Countless people fear the tailed beast like a tiger, just like a child who has not grown up. Orochimaru said softly. A trace of envy flashed in his vertical pupils. this was the first time he had pursued Sharingan. Even a few years ago, when Hyuga-chen manipulated Uchiha Ryo to attack Sarutobi Hiruzen, Orochimaru was not envious. Because the Sharingan ability at that time was strong, but under the siege of the Konoha crowd, there was no overwhelming strength. Beats Kyuubi, Ninetales, who is recognized as the strongest in the ninja world, and takes Tailed Beast Bomb without incident. Who doesn't want to get this kind of power? Look at Danzo next to him, and the saliva is flowing out. If I can get this kind of power, then become Hokage and let Konoha dominate the entire ninja world, wouldn't it be easy? How can this kind of power appear on the goddamn Uchiha clan? It belongs to me. Danzo growled in his heart. The time is not short, and the ninjas of the major families also rushed over. Lord Hokage, this is? Asked the current patriarch of the Nara family. A mysterious person who was suspected to be of the Uchiha family got into a fight with Kyuubi, Ninetales. Sarutobi Hiruzen also glanced at the Uchiha family patriarch. Uchiha almost vomited blood, looking at Susanoo, who was beating Kyuubi, Ninetales, who was bigger than a hill, under the moonlight, and wanted to die. Their Uchiha family, so many that he, the patriarch, doesn't know a single one. Lord Hokage, this has nothing to do with my Uchiha family. Although this is indeed Susanoo, it has absolutely nothing to do with our Uchiha family. Uchiha said firmly. I know. Sarutobi Hiruzen believed Uchiha's words. If the Uchiha family really had such strength, they would have jumped up long ago. So Sarutobi Hiruzen had no doubt that the masked person had something to do with Uchiha. Maybe it's your Uchiha family, the scattered people. This was the only explanation Sarutobi Hiruzen could think of. Sarutobi, think about it at this time, how to get back Kyuubi, Ninetales, and deal with the mysterious man. Homura Mitokado reminded beside him. Hey, look at it. If we go up now, we can only be cannon fodder at most, and no one will look at us directly. Sarutobi Hiruzen said unwillingly. The ninjas around were silent, and they didn't want to fight this monster either. Sarutobi, why don't you just let Kyuubi, Ninetales, out? Danzo exploded upon hearing that. If you think you are very strong, you can go up and give it a try. Danzo stopped talking. He was a man who cherished his life. How could he rush ahead? Don't look at Danzo's last performance. He seems to be great, but in fact he wants to pull his back when he is dying, and then put a great label on it and wash it out. In fact, it's all black and purple, and it's whitewashed. If Danzo can clean it up, then everyone can clean it up. But when I think about it, everyone is really whitewashed. The entire Hokage seems to have been whitewashed except for Kagaya, who knelt down shortly after his appearance. Looking at Kagaya like this, it's so pitiful. It's obviously to defend against the enemy that can destroy the world, and it's obviously to save the world. Mangekyo Sharingan is too scary. If there are more pairs, the entire ninja world together will not be an opponent. Jiraiya sighed. In fact, this sentence is Jiraiya's unintentional words, but when it spreads to other people's ears, it changes its flavor. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo, and the Konoha elders, including the major families of Konoha, are all wary of the Uchiha family. Uchiha almost jumped up and looked at Jiraiya with bad eyes. Uchiha family asked themselves that they didn't offend Jiraiya, but this coercion actually wanted to kill them. What an idiot, Orochimaru scolded, saying this at this time, he directly offended the Uchiha family to death. How could this guy be Susanoo? Tsunade questioned in his heart. She was the only one who knew Hyuga-chen's identity, so she was very curious about Hyuga-chen being able to use the ultimate meaning of the Uchiha family. Since Chen can help Makoto open Mangekyo, it's not surprising to be able to use Susanoo. Tsunade can only explain this way, otherwise he can't explain it at all. In fact, she was very curious about Hyuga-chen's physical skills and yellow flash ability, but she never asked. Everyone has their own secrets. If she forcibly asks Hyuga-chen, even if Hyuga-chen really says it, it will destroy their relationship. Chapter 57 Get Kyubi, Nine Tails Chakra. The strength of Kyubi, Nine Tails, is really unbelievable. After fighting for so long, he still can't win it. It is indeed the strongest of the nine-tailed beasts. Hyuga-chan said silently. This is still Hyuga-chan's outstanding swordsmanship, so that Hyuga-chan's Susanoo's combat power is increased, and this suppresses Kyubi, Nine Tails, otherwise the two sides will be tied at most. Uchiha Madara is able to keep Kyubi, Nine Tails, as a pet because Sharingan is restrained and can control Kyubi, Nine Tails, with a single glance. Otherwise, it will take a lot of effort for Uchiha Madara to defeat Kyubi, Nine Tails. Of course, this is referring to Madara before Rinnegan is turned on. Madara with Rinnegan hitting Kyubi, Nine Tails, is definitely a father hitting his son. Although Tensegan is stronger than the Eternal Mangekyo, he is specialized in the arts, so he can't easily control the tailed beast. At least he can't control Kyubi, Nine Tails, otherwise Hyuga-chen would have used it long ago. Tensegan's ability to control puppets is also useless with Kyubi, Nine Tails. Hyuga-chan doesn't want to expose Tensegan's ability, so he can only use Susanoo to take down Kyubi, Nine Tails. The future, Hyuga-chan will definitely use the Tensegan ability frequently, as well as the ability of the glittering fruit. It is best not to use it now. Otherwise, it's easy to reveal her identity. Hyuga-chan has never thought of becoming a missing nin now. It's obviously delicious in Konoha, so why should she be a missing nin? Why Hyuga-chan has been using Susanoo, and Hyuga-chan's Susanoo has a tasteless ability, that is, it can change color and shape, not afraid of being exposed, and it's a big deal to change a color and shape. But this ability is very tasteless. The weapon only comes with 2 ordinary swords. Compared with Uchiha Itachi, who has 3 artifacts, Hyuga-chan's Susanoo is a bit low. Kyubi, Nine Tails, is such a big fox that he really hangs. We have to fight quickly and fight for chakra consumption. I can't compare to it. It seems that I will use a Tensegan. Hyuga-chen secretly said. The current Hyuga-chen is not as good as Senju Hashirama, the chakra is bursting, and it is basically infinite, and it is impossible to fight a protracted battle with Kyubi, Nine Tails, known as Chakra Infinite. Susanoo Gravity Knife. Hyuga-chen manipulated Susanoo to swing his sword with all his strength, cooperated with Tensegan's gravitational force, and directly pulled Kyubi, Nine Tails, over and hit Susanoo's sword. Anyway, Konoha's people are far away from Hyuga-chen, and they can't see Hyuga-chen at all. Even if they use Tensegan a little, no one can find it. Even if I saw it, I would only think it was Susanoo's ability. Kyubi, Nine Tails, was stunned when he collided with Susanoo's sword. The blade slashed iron like mud, and Kyubi, Nine Tails, was cut off by a quarter of his body. Since Kyubi, Nine Tails, is composed of chakras, there is no flesh and blood flying, and the chopped parts are turned into chakras. And Kyubi, Nine Tails, is not missing anything, but it is a little smaller, as is the tail that was cut off by Hyuga-chen before. Kyubi, Nine Tails, is not missing body parts. At Hyuga-chen with the crystal above Susanoo's head, he quickly shot and collected the chakra of Kyubi, Nine Tails. As Kyubi, Nine Tails, a quarter of the chakra. It doesn't seem to be enough. After getting Kyubi, Nine Tails, a quarter of the chakra, Hyuga-chen did not give up, but greedily stared at Kyubi, Nine Tails, again. Tails. Hyuga-chen's goal is half of Kyubi's, Nine Tails, chakra, and now the goal is only half completed, and the remaining half has not been completed yet. Kyubi, Nine Tails, has nine tails wagging, and is extremely furious. Kyubi, Nine Tails, claims that the chakra is infinite. You are just angry. I won't play with you, I will solve you directly. Hyuga-chen smiled coldly. Under the control of Hyuga-chen, Susanoo pressed Kyubi, Nine Tails, on the head and restrained Kyubi, Nine Tails, here. And Hyuga-chen directly released the green light ball, used his Tensegan ability, and began to draw Kyubi, Nine Tails, chakra, wanting to end it quickly. The chakra of Kyubi, Nine Tails, is drawn away by Hyuga-chen like running water. Feeling the loss of chakra, Kyubi Ninetails roared restlessly. A pair of fox eyes looked at Hyuga-chen with hatred, and there was a trace of fear in the deepest part. Kyubi Ninetails lost weight under Hyuga-chan's chakra extraction. He used to be 50 meters on his stomach, but now he can reach 30 meters. After getting enough chakra, Hyuga-chen also stopped, looking at Kyubi Ninetails lying on the ground like a dead dog, and controlling Susanoo to kick him. Konoha crowd several kilometers away, the huge Susanoo disappeared, and Hyuga-chen used space teleport to leave. What's the matter? Is it because Susanoo can't hold on to the consumption, or has he left? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked the head of the Hyuga family. Only Kyubi's Ninetails chakra was present, and no one else was seen. The Hyuga patriarch glanced at the Byakugan and said, there were 2 chakra sources with the same size as large light bulbs, and now there is Kyubi Ninetails, a huge chakra aggregate. Don't worry about that mysterious person. Go and seal Kyubi Ninetails. Maybe that mysterious person has got what he wanted and left. Sarutobi Hiruzen took the lead and rushed forward. Seeing that Hokage was taking the lead, those ninjas who were afraid in their hearts also forcibly suppressed their fears and rushed up with Sarutobi Hiruzen. A distance of several kilometers is only a matter of minutes for these ninjas who are faster than cars. Coming to Kyubi Ninetails, looking at the thin Kyubi Ninetails, everyone couldn't believe it. Is this still Kyubi Ninetails? What are you looking at? Kyubi Ninetails struggled to get up, staring at the Konoha crowd in embarrassment. Such a shameful thing. We must not let other tailed beasts know, otherwise it will be shameful. It seems that the murder will be silenced. Kyubi Ninetails thought to himself. Kyubi Ninetails raised his paw, and just as he was about to pat it down, he felt a sense of weakness and accidentally fell to the ground, and the fox's face became even more embarrassed. Originally, Kyubi Ninetails lost chakra one after another and was already very weak. Before leaving, Hyuga-chen added a weak buff to it. A result, Kyubi Ninetails accidentally fell to the ground, with 2 fox eyes staring at Konoha's ninja. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was nervous at first, also breathed a sigh of relief, and then asked the sealing team to come and seal Kyubi Ninetails. You despicable human beings who take advantage of the danger of the fox, have the ability to wait for this uncle to recover, and this uncle wants you to look good. Kyubi Ninetails yelled angrily. This is really a tiger falling and Pyongyang being bullied by a dog. Do it. Sarutobi Hiruzen ignored the clamor of Kyubi Ninetails. How to seal it if Kyubi Ninetails was not weak? It's not that easy to seal me. Kyubi Ninetails angrily broke out chakra, forming a chakra torrent, blowing the ninjas of the seal class away. We'll try to contain Kyubi Ninetails and let the seal team seal it. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with an ugly face. A Kyubi Ninetails who was beaten as a first-degree crippled, they couldn't deal with, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen feel very shameless. At the same time, I am also fortunate that the mysterious person did not shoot Konoha, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. Chapter 58, Kyubi Ninetails is sealed. Futon, wind style, vacuum datama. Fire, thunder, water, earth, and wind, the 5 escapes, the art of Dalian bullets. Return of life. 6-type profound truth, the largest round 6 king spear. Danzo shot first, knocking Kyubi Ninetails back several meters, and then Sarutobi Hiruzen followed, embroidering a fancy 5 escapes, which opened everyone's eyes. And it was so powerful that it knocked Kyubi Ninetails' body to the ground. At this moment, Tsunade jumped up, used the 6-style esoteric largest round of the 6 king spears, and also used a combination of strange force techniques to hit Kyubi Ninetails, who had just pulled out his head from the ground. A single blow, Kyubi Ninetails slammed it down, and the ground with a radius of 100 meters cracked. Kyubi Ninetails fell into the big pit and could not recover for a long time. What are you doing, taking advantage of this good opportunity to seal Kyubi Ninetails? Tsunade snorted. Yes, 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 Lord Tsunade. Those from the sealing class quickly agreed. Seeing the destruction caused by Tsunade, everyone's expressions changed. Sarutobi Hiruzen was extremely ashamed. Jiraiya kept wiping cold sweat. Orochimaru's mouth twitched. Danzo's face was gloomy, and the patriarchs of the major families were silent. Kyubi, Ninetails, was beaten to such a degree by one blow, not to mention a human being. If a human being was hit, it would definitely be a dead end. This is definitely the strongest physical technique they have ever seen. If you let them know that Tsunade has not used his full strength, they must scare them to death. You know, Tsunade doesn't use armament haki. If you bless armament haki, you will definitely be able to knock out Kyubi, Ninetails, who is now extremely weak. Kyubi, Ninetails, shook his head, and it took a long time to recover, but it was too late. The hand seal spell of the seal class had been completed. Under the unwilling expression of Kyubi, Ninetails, he was sealed in the body of Uzumaki Tomoko, and this time Kyubi, Ninetails, was sealed with the 8 trigrams seal, an enhanced version of the 4-image seal. After Kyubi, Ninetails, was sealed, Sarutobi Hiruzen breathed a sigh of relief. This time, the replacement of Jinchuriki column force was twists and turns, but fortunately it succeeded in the end. Sarutobi, you must find out the origin of that mysterious person. Danzo strode over, his face gloomy and watery. Danzo, you'd better not act rashly. That person's strength is very strong. I am afraid it has reached the level of Uchiha Madara. Sarutobi Hiruzen said cautiously. He couldn't help being careless. The other party was able to hang Kyubi, Ninetails, if he hadn't known that Uchiha Madara was already dead. Sarutobi Hiruzen would have thought that this person was Uchiha Madara. Cowardly, do you have to fear him because of his strength? Everyone who peeps on Konoha will die. Danzo snapped. After Danzo finished speaking, instead of respecting him, the people around showed disdain. When people were here before, Danzo didn't even dare to fart, and now that the other party has left, he is here again to be a hero and speak ruthlessly. If you were really so strong, why didn't you say that before? This is the end of the matter, but the investigation still needs to be investigated, but don't make a big splash, so as not to provoke the other party. The third generation did not give Danzo a chance to speak, and directly decided. Danzo, you better be honest. If you bring disaster to Konoha because of you, don't blame me for not reading our love. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that Danzo liked to dance, so he warned him directly. Before, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't stop it, because it was good for him, but this time it was a big matter related to Konoha, and he didn't dare to let Danzo mess around. Humph! Danzo snorted coldly, and left with the ninja at the root. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked the remaining people to appease the villagers. As long as they are not deaf, they can hear such a big movement. Moreover, the bodies of Kyubi, Ninetails, and Susanoo are very conspicuous even at night, and they are very far away. Many people have seen Kyubi, Ninetails, and Susanoo. This is also because the back mountain blocks most of the sight, otherwise more people will see. Chen, you're back, are you alright? Makoto and Kushina ran over nervously. What can you do? Your husband Kun will go out. A little Kyubi, Ninetails, is not a piece of cake. Hyuga Chen patted his chest and said in a slightly intentional tone. That's right. Like you said, isn't it a little Kyubi, Ninetails? Look at you. Kushina couldn't stand Hyuga-chan's smug look, and responded with his own words. Hyuga-chan's face was embarrassed, he just wanted to pretend. Kushina's words made his pretending impossible, which made Hyuga-chan very upset. I really got Kyubi, Ninetails, I can sense the huge chakra here. Even Makoto said it is not an opponent. Kushina was slightly suspicious. Hyuga-chan was even more unhappy. This not only interrupted himself to pretend, but also doubted his own strength. Hyuga-chan immediately took out a specially made scroll to seal Kyubi, Ninetails' chakra. Look, I took more than half of the chakra from Kyubi, Ninetails, and in 7 or 8 years, Kyubi, Ninetails will never recover. Since you can hang Kyubi, Ninetails, what do you want Kyubi, Ninetails' chakra to do? Kushina asked in confusion. This is not something that can be explained clearly in 1 or 2 sentences, and the chakra of Kyubi, 9 tails, alone is useless. I will explain it to you later. Benefit. It's not that the more you know, the better. Sometimes the more you know, the more desperate you will be. If Hyuga-chan didn't have a system, even he would despair. In Hokage, it is very difficult to become a super shadow without a plugin. At least Hyuga-chan doesn't think that he can cultivate to super shadow without a system. Not to mention super shadow, even cage level is a bit reluctant, and cage level is just a bigger crawler in the 4th battle. So it's better not to tell them for the time being, so as not to damage their confidence. Seeing that Hyuga-chan didn't want to say anything, Kushina didn't ask unreasonably. Konoha's replacement, Jinchuriki column, can't hide it from other shinobi villages. Even the commoners of Konoha know something. If the spies from other shinobi villages don't know about it, they are blind. The replacement of the Jinchuriki column power of Kyubi, 9 tails, has a great impact on the situation of the entire ninja world. Originally, it was just a tentative fight between the various ninja villages. Now I hear that Konoha has replaced the Jinchuriki column power. The abacus kicked in. Changing the Jinchuriki column force, the representative Konoha can't use the Jinchuriki column force at all. No ninja village will let a new person Jinchuriki column force enter the battlefield. Human Jinchuriki column force is a big killer, but it is also a big bomb that will explode if you are not careful. At that time, before hurting the enemy, hurt yourself first. Although the various ninja villages agreed not to use tailed beasts without authorization, once a war begins, who would care about those? In short, this time Konoha directly abolished an arm, making the other shinobi villages happy to celebrate. Konoha occupies the most fertile land in the ninja world, and other ninja villages have long been unhappy with Yuhi, and now take advantage of Konoha, the tiger, to collapse Akiba and quickly take a bite. Chapter 59 Perform Tasks. Have a mission. Tsunade, who called them together, Hyuga-chen asked suspiciously. I took an ordinary C-level mission to show you blood. Although you are very strong, you have never seen blood. In a real life and death battle, you may not be able to show even half of your strength. Tsunade is serious said. She said that seeing blood is killing. Ninjas are all fighting in blood and fire. No ninja dares to say that he has not killed anyone. Have you seen blood? That's fine. Hyuga-chen looked at the 2 daughters Makoto and Kushina and nodded slightly. Hyuga-chen said it doesn't matter, but it is very important to the 2 daughters of Makoto and Kushina, although they are very powerful. Kushina can compete with Jonin, Makoto is full of strength, and can even fight against cage-level powerhouses. But this is only theoretical, whether it is combat experience or psychological quality, they are not even comparable to those Chunin. At this time, it is good to practice and improve your psychological quality, otherwise it will be troublesome if you encounter an enemy who dare not start. This time, it's a group of bandits in the country of extinguishing fire. According to the information given by Konoha, this band of bandits has no ninjas at all, which is just right for ninjas who have just graduated. Tsunade speaks out the mission information. Is there any problem? No problem, let's go. Hyuga-chen nodded, not to mention a group of ordinary bandits, even Akatsuki was fine. However, Akatsuki has not yet been established, and Yahiko is still wandering in the country of rain, and is now struggling to eat a full meal. After leaving Konoha village, Hyuga-chen looked around. This was the first time Hyuga-chen left Konoha village. For nearly 10 years, he hadn't stepped out of Konoha village at all, and he was naturally curious about the scenery outside Konoha. Makoto, like Hyuga Tatsu, looked around with a deep curiosity. In fact, outside of Konoha, compared with the inside of Konoha village, there is no way to compare. Konoha can be said to be the most prosperous place in the entire ninja world. Tsunade smiled and said to Hyuga-chen and the others. That's right, Konoha is the most prosperous place I've ever seen. It's much more prosperous than the country of Vortex, but there is no country of Vortex anymore. Speaking of the end, Kushina's mood dropped. Hyuga-chen walked up and patted Kushina on the shoulder. Kushina is still with us, we will not be alone in the future. Yeah, Kushina smiled again after clearing up her emotions. Now that the country of the vortex has passed, why doesn't she look forward? God treats her not badly, she now has Chen who loves her, her good friend Makoto, and her sister Tsunade. Kushina's personality is relatively optimistic, so he quickly threw away the unhappy things, turned around and smiled and whispered to Makoto. You don't seem nervous at all. Tsunade and Hyuga-chan walked side by side. Tsunade wasn't tall, but he was still a little taller than Hyuga-chan. After all, Hyuga-chan was only 10 years old. There's nothing to be nervous about, isn't it just killing someone, and it's not that I haven't done it before. Suddenly, Hyuga-chan realized that he had leaked his tongue. Who did you kill? Tsunade narrowed his eyes slightly. If you don't want to say it, forget it. Seeing that Hyuga-chen didn't want to say anything, Tsunade didn't ask any more. It's okay to tell you, it's a Uchiha family member. If he wants to trouble me, I won't let him go. Hyuga-chen ignored all the people who died indirectly in his hands. Uchiha Ryo killed should also be counted on Hyuga-chen, because at that time it was Hyuga-chen who controlled Uchiha Ryo, and he was a puppet. But this can't let Tsunade know that unlike Hyuga Tatsu, Makoto and Kushina, Tsunade has deep feelings for Konoha. After all, Konoha was established by Tsunade's grandfather. Tsunade grew up in Konoha since he was a child, and his feelings for Konoha are definitely not shallow. Hyuga-chen is a traveler. Hyuga-chen, who knows the dark side of Konoha, doesn't have much affection for Konoha. If Konoha is not prosperous, Hyuga-chen may have to leave Konoha. Hyuga-chen would never admit that he stayed here because of the beauty of Konoha, absolutely not. The people of the Uchiha family, shouldn't it be Uchiha Kado? Tsunade remembered the uproar that had caused the whole Konoha high-level shocking Uchiha Kado. That's right, it's that guy, he wanted to kill me and Makoto, so I killed him. Hyuga-chan's tone was relaxed, as if he was talking about killing a chicken. In Hyuga-chan's eyes, Uchiha Kairan is not much stronger than chicken. What a pervert, Tsunade clicked. How old was Hyuga-chan at that time? But at the age of 5 years, it was unimaginable that he could kill the elite Jonin. How strong are you now and how does it compare to Uchiha Madara? Tsunade asked curiously. Makoto and Kushina, who were whispering, also stretched their heads over and looked at Hyuga-chen curiously. They also wanted to know the answer. Hyuga-chen gave Tsunade a Byakugan and said helplessly, "We haven't fought before, how do I know?" "Of course I know you haven't fought, I'm just letting you speculate. My strength should be similar to your grandfather. Except for chakra, which is not as good as your grandfather, I am stronger than him. Overall, the strength is not much different." Hyuga-chen guessed while rubbing his chin. Senju Hashirama has Sage Mode and Hyuga-chen also has Tenseigan Chakra Mode, which is stronger than Sage Mode and should be no problem to draw with Senju Hashirama. Similar to my grandfather, that's better than Uchiha Madara. Similar to your grandfather, is he better than Uchiha Madara? Where did you come from? Hyuga-chen couldn't help but flip through Byakugan. Uchiha Madara is old now, but he has a lot of means. Hyuga-chen has no absolute certainty to defeat him. Uchiha Madara has Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, in his hand, and no one knows what means will erupt. The shell of the divine tree lost chakra, and Hyuga-chen did not dare to underestimate it. After all, it was the origin of chakra, so it is impossible to give too much attention to it. My grandpa was able to beat Uchiha Madara, and you are about the same as my grandpa, so naturally you are stronger than Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara is not so easy to deal with. If your grandfather is still alive, at most, he will be tied with Uchiha Madara. This is Hyuga-chen's estimation. Uchiha Madara's body is supported by Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, and he should be able to exert his full strength. However, his Rinnegan should be given to Nagato, so Uchiha Madara's strength should be reduced, but it should not be underestimated. Although Hyuga-chen is not afraid of him, he does not want to conflict with Uchiha Madara. Compared with Uchiha Madara, Hyuga-chen is more afraid of Black Zetsu. Once there is a conflict with Uchiha Madara, it will definitely attract the attention of Black Zetsu, which is what Hyuga-chen doesn't want to see. Chapter 60 Bloody Bandit. This guy Black Zetsu looks incompetent, but if he can kill Uchiha Madara, he knows that this guy is definitely not an ordinary person. Anyway, if you play intrigue, even 10 Hyuga-chen is not enough for Black Zetsu. This is the mission location. It looks so simple, it seems that these bandits are not doing well. Kushina looked at the thatched hut on the top of the mountain and complained. The bandit is to bully the civilians. The real powerful and big businessmen will ask ninjas to protect them. They can only make a living by robbing civilians. Tsunade added some knowledge and experience to them. These people are so bad, they were a little psychological burden, but now it seems that they are all a bunch of damn people. Kushina raised his fist angrily. Hey Tilda, Tsunade chuckled, looking at Kushina, she remembered herself just on the mission. Don't be merciful, not a single one of the entire cottage, including women and babies. Although the words are a bit cruel, this is a ninja. In the world of ninjas, even in the face of a child, one cannot relax their vigilance. This is a rule handed down from the Sengoku period, but it's not much obeyed now. It's not that the ninjas are now kind, but they are no longer cruel than the Sengoku period. Children in the Sengoku period also had a lot of fighting power, but today's children are far worse, even if they don't want to despise them. Baby women also want to do it. Makoto hesitated. She is a gentle and kind character, and she can't do anything to weak women or babies who can't speak. That's right. No matter who the enemy is, as long as it is determined to be the enemy, we must cut down the roots. Tsunade said in a cold voice. Looking at the unacceptable Makoto, Hyuga-chen did not persuade him. In this world with killing as the theme song, kindness can only be treated to one's own people, and cold and cruel to the enemy. Makoto, if you let them go today, they may retaliate against you and your relatives in the future. Don't hesitate, this is also the rule of ninjas. Tsunade's eyes were very serious. If Makoto can't pass this level, no matter how strong he is, he can't become a qualified ninja. A relative. Makoto glanced at Hyuga Tatsu and Kushina, then his eyes firmed. Although she is gentle and kind, Makoto cares more about her relatives. If someone dares to hurt Hyuga-chen and Kushina, Makoto doesn't mind turning into Shura. Compared with Makoto, Kushina is easier to accept. Although Kushina is carefree and cheerful, don't forget that Kushina saw the demise of the country of Vortex with his own eyes. In the entire country of Vortex, only a few people survived, so one can imagine the tragic situation at that time. I'll be watching you from a distance, let's go. Tsunade jumped up on top of a big tree and looked at the top of the mountain in the distance. Let's act. You don't have to be burdened. When you pick up a weapon, you are a demon, and a demon doesn't need mercy. Hyuga-chen turned into a streamer and appeared on the humble city. What are you? Laugh. A tearing sound rang out, and before the vigilant bandit could finish speaking, Hyuga-chen had already slit his throat with icy kunai. Sure enough, this world of the weak and the strong is more suitable for me. Looking at the gradually freezing corpse, Hyuga-chen had no other expression, but only sighed with emotion. There is a demon in everyone's heart. When there is no crossing, there is a big lock of law, which locks the demon in Hyuga-chen's heart. Let him face all the injustices, he can only endure it again and again. After coming to the world of Hokage, the big lock has disappeared, and the system has opened the cage for him to release the power of the devil in his heart. So when he came to Hokage, Hyuga-chen never thought of pursuing peace, not only because Hyuga-chen knew that there was no absolute reason for peace, but also because he didn't want to. Instead of maintaining a false peace, it is better to rejoice in enmity. The more selfish Hyuga-chen doesn't think for the sake of all beings in the ninja world, he doesn't have such lofty ideals. Extending his fingers, 5 light bullets flew out, and then penetrated several bandits who were investigating in other directions, and then Hyuga-chen stopped. The protagonists this time are actually Makoto and Kushina, mainly to experience them, otherwise Hyuga-chen would have bombed the mountain with Bakujang Tomo. Soon after, Makoto and Kushina arrived, looked at each other, and rushed into the cottage with Kunwu. An instant, Kushina and Makoto took down more than a dozen bandits. Although they were really uncomfortable at first, they even vomited, but they got better later. Hyuga-chen didn't intervene, standing at the top looking at these thieves crying for their father and mother. His eyes were as cold as frost, which made the air in June bring a touch of chill. Weakness is the original sin. I used to be weak. Now I want to be a strong man, so that I won't let the system bring me to this world. Hyuga-chen said in a cool voice. In a quarter of an hour, the battle below was over, and the 3 of them, Hyuga-chen, came out of the entire cottage, and none of them were breathing at all. More than 100 people, including men, women and children, all turned into corpses, and their blood turned into a stream, flowing. Makoto and Kushina's faces turned pale. Although Kushina is also someone who has seen a big scene, it is different from seeing it and doing it herself. Are you okay? Hyuga-chen came over and patted the 2 of them on the back with his hands. I'm fine, Makoto said softly with a forced smile. Looking at Makoto's pale face, and how he was holding back his vomiting, there was nothing wrong with him. Compared to Makoto, Kushina was much more direct and threw herself directly into Hyuga-chen's arms. It's so uncomfortable, I feel a little nauseous, I want to vomit but I can't. Kushina said, clutching her chest. It would be nice to experience more in the future. Hyuga-chen could only comfortably say. Comfort Makoto and Kushina, then Hyuga-chen unleashes an oversized great fireball jutsu and sets the mountain on fire. Endless fire began to spread, and soon 1.0 covered the entire mountain. Hyuga-chen took Makoto and Kushina away quickly, not only because of the spread of the fire, but also because of the burning smell of burning bodies. The smell was so unpleasant that even Hyuga-chen was about to vomit after smelling it. This was definitely the worst smell Hyuga-chen had ever encountered, except for the glittering fruit. Coming down the mountain, Tsunade came over with a smile on his face. To be honest, I'm very satisfied with your performance. I was worried that you wouldn't be able to kill. Now it seems that I'm worried for nothing. The mission is complete. To celebrate our completion of the first mission, I invite you to eat meat. Tsunade said with a weird smile on his face. As soon as they heard the meat, Makoto and Kushina spat out and looked at Tsunade with resentful eyes, which was definitely intentional.